Fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. You have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Grumble. I am your host, Graham, and sitting in the chair opposite me, it is Dan.
How
are you doing, Dan?
I'm all right.
Daryl's not here.
No, well, he kind of is.
He's here in spirit, isn't he?
Have you seen the film Lawnmower Man?
I have seen the film Lawnmower Man.
With Lawnmower Man.
Are you going to have sex with me in a computer?
No.
I'm just checking.
No, because I'm not in the computer. Daryl is.
Oh, that's even
with
worse.
Lawnmower Man him.
Oh,
he's gonna be ringing all his phones at the end of this.
We've got Lawnmower Daryl. Terrifying. But to replace Daryl, we have not one but two special guests. So I'm going to start off with we have the real Danny Glover.
Yeah,
not that one.
Not that one.
But we have the real Danny Glover. Danny, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
It's good to be one half of Daryl.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have the bottom half, but it's fun to be this half.
You have the racist half, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, I do
but
know
no,
that.
Chris has got all the sexism. So
All right, okay.
Yes, I made a mention of it. So, straight from the Wizards of Drivel podcast, we have the should I call you the righteous Christopher Bammer?
I mean, to be honest, like you can call me what you want.
Okay, well, I'll call you Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
I am all right. Also very excited to be here and excited to talk just nonsense a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't promise I'll bring you the sexism of Daryl, but
Don't worry, Daryl's brought that himself. just a warning.
just a one.
There's one or two.
Oh, good.
He didn't follow my instructions exactly. You know, I said send like 5 quotes.
Yeah, he said 5.
He sent me 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's close to 5.
30. So, in a way, it's more like having Daryl here.
Yeah.
Because he does say about 13 things through an hour's podcast. So, or a 2-hour podcast.
Don't worry, you'll get all the favourites plus a few extra.
So, considering favourites, let's hit on one of our favourite features, one of our absolute favourite features. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 opening contests this week.
You know what makes this better? We're not competing with each other this time.
Yeah, that's true.
We're making his guests compete.
Yeah, we're just putting all the pressure on you guys. That's what happens. You walk into this room, pressure's on.
Yeah.
Cool.
So make sure you're up to scratch.
It's a bit like War Games, except instead of War Games, it's a room.
War room.
This has a roof on
It's
it.
a war room.
War room.
Not
Churchill
Raw
had
room.
one.
No.
It's war. This is a war.
I wondered how long before we got a brass icon.
It took me a whole 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I think that's right. Dan, start us off.
So, question we're all at 1. Graham kind of mentioned something earlier which kind of spoils the joke of my question. So I've got a question for each of you about each other.
Okay.
About the things you're involved in and stuff like that.
Cool.
So I will start with you, Danny.
Okay.
So Chris is 1/3 of the Wizards of Drivel.
Right.
The Stoke City podcast where they torture themselves every week by watching Stoke City.
Yeah.
I can make that joke even though our team is playing absolute garbage right now.
We're treading a tightrope there, Dan, to be honest.
So the question relating to that is, in the video game movie Wizards, which famous video game was debuted in the closing segment of the film for the first time?
I know this well. I don't know
The
it.
film with the Power Glove.
I honestly don't know it at all.
Power
You can
Glove.
throw me.
Can you not remember the film with the Power Glove?
No.
It's
Power
Super
Glove.
Mario Bros. 3.
Oh.
They had the world premiere of Super Mario Bros. 3 in the final bit of the movie. It was the first
Wow.
time it was shown to the world.
So does Chris get the point? Or does Danny just
No,
not?
lose
no
a
point
point.
there.
Okay.
So
There's no point to
I
anything,
I
really.
think you know what's coming. Chris,
Yes,
we've got Danny Glover here.
we have.
In what film did Danny Glover make his film debut?
I don't know. Like, genuinely, I can name 2 Danny Glover films.
Which ones?
We should be able to at least 3.
Well, yeah.
Isn't there like 4 of that
Okay.
franchise?
Yes.
I'd like to say 4, yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, so hard for the last one.
Obviously, Lethal Weapon franchise. We don't count them. Don't count them because his masterpiece,
Yeah.
as you well know, Daniel,
Yeah.
is Predator 2.
Oh yeah, Predator 2.
Predator 2.
The better
best.
Predator movie.
The better, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You forget he was in the Saw movie as well. He's in one of the Saw movies.
Oh, he's like a detective
Yeah.
guy, isn't he?
But his movie debut...
Wait, hold on. Danny Glover is a detective. I mean, that's That's quite a departure for him in a role.
Where I got the answer to this question is the same place that gives me the knowledge that he's played a cop or a marine or like something along those lines in 5 different film franchises.
Wow, I don't want to take away from wrestling and quizzes, but is there any films that come to mind where Danny Glover hasn't played anyone from law enforcement?
Well, it would be the one.
Oh my
which
God.
was his first movie.
Okay, and he decided
1979's Escape from Alcatraz.
where he what was it? Let me guess, he was a prisoner.
Probably.
Amazing. So just the opposite side.
This is where
Opposite
Danny
side of
Glover
the
should
law.
jump in on his obligations as one half of Daryl and mention why Danny Glover would play a prisoner
No, I
in
can't,
this
I
movie.
can't, I can't do this.
No.
It's
It's America's problem. It's an institutionalized racism. It's fine.
Okay.
I feel like, Dan, now you're taking the racism out of it. It's like in a way we're colloquially racist. We're bringing that spirit
Daryl
back.
brings it out in his all.
Yeah. Well, Daryl's quite literally going to bring it out because he had appropriately.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see. He
So,
has an opening contest for you as
Lawnmower
well.
Man Daryl,
Great.
what is your opening question? Hopefully this works because it worked earlier.
Shall we fill until he says
It's
something?
opening contest time, bitches. Who can name the most Truth Commission members? Go.
See, I knew you spoke about this last week.
There
I
you
have
go.
a clue.
Yeah.
Yes, we spoke about it last week.
Yeah, we did last week.
I'm keeping in with the timelines.
I feel like if we answer it now, we're sort of taking away from his Christmas quiz because this question may be on the Christmas quiz.
No, because there was a point where our Christmas quiz nearly got ruined this week, but thankfully, he's pulling through. He's fine.
Yeah, but we don't go out till Sunday.
But he's pulling through. He's off live support now, so I can play this other clip, which Daryl sent in.
What did he do?
It's a good job I'm not there this week with Kamala being on death's door because we don't want another China situation on our hands. Although I do think he has got a giant Ugandan cock because you know what they say about a man with big feet.
Daryl there, ladies and gentlemen. He's,
Did you say man with big feet and Kamala? And the same,
yeah. I think
So there was a conversation where I told Daryl he might have to drop the Kamala question from this year's quiz. But luckily he's pulled through and Daryl can keep that up. But can you name any members of the Truth Commission?
Absolutely not. Again,
Can you
I
even
feel
give the name
useless.
what he wrestled as later? Because there's one
It's Bull Buchanan, one like. One of them.
Oh,
Bobby
yeah,
Cannavale?
yeah, no,
he
he's
was.
right. Chris
Yeah.
is one.
It wasn't the one I was
That's
thinking
the one
of.
that got mentioned last week. I
See,
believe, but I
we
can't-
listened.
Yeah.
There you go. Cheers.
It's
Yeah, you're dividing our listenership by being here. That's what you're doing. In a way, it's selfish of you.
Yeah, the other two listeners,
One was
they're
an
on next
oddity.
week, are they?
One was an oddity.
That's-
Remember the
Oh.
oddities?
It was Kurgan, was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Kurgan, I'll give him
Oh,
that.
We've got one each. So
Yeah.
let's hear the answers. Hopefully this plays. Come on. There we go.
Gator, Recon.
It played from halfway through.
The answers are the Commandant, Kurgan Interrogator, Recon, Sniper, Tank, and the Jackal.
Incidentally, does anyone remember Sniper from 3CW?
I was about
gonna
to say something. He wrestled one of the early SSW shows,
Yes.
and the entire reason was Punk liked him not only because he kind of liked him as a wrestler, but also because his name was from the Truth Commission.
Was Sniper, and he looked a little bit like Bull Buchanan in that he was
Yeah.
bald and tall. So that was it.
I'll not say what he works as now.
Probably best
He's
not.
doing a lot better.
Okay, right. Let's do the real opening contest because in my head, right, they were real opening contests. Obviously, sorry, I don't.
We're
want
at a
to
point each as well, so this is the decider.
Exactly. So this is the decider. So this I thought would be a bit fun because you are replacing Daryl.
Okay.
I have to ask you who or what is the greatest replacement in wrestling history, and I'm gonna go to Chris first.
Oh, okay. I thought long and hard about this one.
Yep.
And do you remember the original ECW?
Yes.
Yeah.
The worst ECW. as we refer it.
Revolutionary, some would say. Oh, blah de blah. What would you say was the reason for the downfall of ECW?
Well, we were actually discussing this before you arrived about
Weird.
how
Like
kind of awful it actually was looking back on it.
Yeah.
But the downfall was probably Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. That was my thought exactly. No doubt Paul Heyman, a genius in some creative ways, but financially, not a good thing. My thought
He
is...
bounces more checks. Than
Exactly. And
someone
so
who
what you
bounces,
need is
yeah.
someone with a stable wealth background,
Mhm.
someone who's young and up and coming in the wrestling business,
Mhm.
and who wants to make a name for themselves. I propose that the best replacement ever was replacing Paul Heyman as leader of ECW with one Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, thus creating the ultimate ECW But he was still around there, weren't he, Paul Heyman? But ECW, Stephanie McMahon, the best ECW.
As part of the alliance.
Wow.
As part of the alliance.
Splendid.
Building bridges.
I mean, I like everything about it apart from the McMahon
I'm
involvement.
enjoying this more because of Dan's reaction. Splendid. Danny, it feels like if Dan's in charge of this, you've got an open goal here. So can you convert?
I can't. I mean,
Do you play for Brentford or any other team? That's a weird
I was
reference.
honestly trying to think of the most Daryl answer possible, and the only thing I could think of was when Stephanie got her breast implants.
Yes.
That was the only thing I thought. Daryl had definitely mentioned that as the greatest replacement.
I like how Stephanie is the answer to
Yeah,
both.
Stephanie seems to be the answer.
I can't vote for the more sexist answer, though. I've got to go with Chris.
There you go. Yeah, well, that's fair. Okay, Chris wins. Chris wins his first ever
Yes.
opening contest. Round of applause.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
well done.
Round of applause of two.
There was an instant win and an instant loss built into that question.
Yeah,
that
there
we-
was the instant loss was Johnny Nitro at Vengeance 2007. Let's just say that we don't need to elaborate. You had an instant win.
The instant win was Tajiri in Latino Heat.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I think I also said on the instant losses anything that's happened in the last few months.
Yeah.
So you couldn't say AJ Styles
No.
versus Finn Balor or any of that stuff.
Oh, well, my serious answer was genuinely still Paul Heyman related, but was when Paul Heyman replaced Jerry Lawler on commentary, because that was like the best time.
That was good. Oh, you see, if you hadn't gone the McMahon, you could have won it.
He did win it.
I did win it.
Even more. Sorry, we pay really important attention to who wins the opening contest. It's in a total. Speaking of which, incidentally, we have our predictions. Do you want to know who won?
Well,
you know who won because
yeah.
you did the marking. Dan won the predictions last week.
Well
I've got my title back.
Yeah, we'll get in.
Did you double check the marking? So he marked it.
Yeah, actually, I haven't peer assessed it, so I guess I'll need to get some red pen on it. There's a reference that only I get. Let's move on. Right, we've got so much to talk about today. It's the end of our Montreal 20 years on week, month, year, whatever. The point is, Montreal's done with now.
And as successful as it's been, they fucked it for us.
Yeah.
Because we built towards, they're definitely going to do a screw job at a Survivor Series or something, aren't they?
Well, I mean, they did, but they didn't. But they didn't do it properly, did they? They didn't do it in the good old-fashioned Montreal way.
Yeah. I think there was even build-up of a proper screw job in a promo within the...
Yeah.
We had one sharpshooter, and that was Cesaro. So
And that'll
thanks,
for his mate who loves cats, isn't it? Rather
exactly,
than,
yeah. His little cat-loving mate. So thanks, Cesaro. Yeah, bloody Swiss Superman, yeah, with your blinking mouth guard. But
with Cyborg.
did you hear about it? Yeah, Swiss, something like that. Did you know, by the way, allegedly, he, the reason they want him to wear the mouth guard isn't just to mug him off in promos, but apparently because he wears braces.
Yeah,
and Vince doesn't
yeah.
like him wear braces.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But also, he loves hearing him speak.
It's
on the
definitely
mic.
that, though, isn't it? It's definitely
You
a
can
big
imagine
part of
Vince
that.
absolutely giggling to himself in the
It's
back.
quite funny, like when Pete Dunne cuts promos, he does take the mouthpiece out, but everyone else who has mouthpieces keeps them in.
100%. We have some actual news this week before we go on to TakeOver and before we go into Survivor Series.
Okay.
This should excite all of you. The Marine 6 is on its way.
No way.
So great news.
Please
the
tell me
Miz,
Ziggler is... No?
no, the Miz is still in it. Don't worry.
Wait for our five-part film club coming next year in the build-up to it.
Co-starring Becky Lynch.
Okay.
And this, I actually really am excited about this because I think this bit here is Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Shawn
Oh my
Michaels is
God.
going to be a Marine.
I mean, we didn't watch his last film because it looked fucking rotten.
What,
like,
the Jesus one about Jesus,
Yeah.
how good Jesus was.
Yeah, that looks so bad.
Did he remember about that one, or was it like all the Bret Hart stuff where he's like, oh, well, I did a lot of drugs, I don't remember. You know what I mean?
He remembers about Jesus, though, doesn't he? And hunting
Certainly does.
and abs.
So here's how... there's
He did an ab off with Johnny
So-
Gargano last week. He lost.
a synopsis.
Go on.
Right. When Jake Carter, The Miz, and fellow Marine Luke Trapper, Shawn Michaels,
Luke Trapper.
stumble upon a kidnapped girl being held prisoner by a dangerous gang of international criminals, they find themselves in the crosshairs as they try to save the girl and bring her kidnappers to justice. Production of the film begins in London next Monday.
I'm sold.
Wow.
In London.
Yeah, so
I mean,
we're all
you could
going,
get a
yeah?
part.
You could.
Danny, I'm pretty sure if you phone them up, you'll be like the co-lead.
Yeah. opposite Becky Lynch is what I'd rather be opposite.
So there you go. Obviously,
I'd be
well,
careful,
that's-
mate. Have you seen The Boyfriend?
No.
I mean, he's not huge, but he's an
Isn't
MMA
he-
fighter.
I thought he died.
He's not got the
Wasn't he who died.
No, that's Dana Brooke.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not out there with the...
You got the wrong dead boyfriend.
I mean,
Not again.
last week there was
I
genuine
thought it was
moment.
safe.
I'll just say this now because there was something we didn't talk about on last week's show because we chose not to because there was no humour to be taken out of it. But as me and Daryl were recording, Graham did send a message saying, "Oh, have you heard about this?" Which was the David Otunga situation. And he's like, "Oh, have you heard about this?" Like, me and Daryl, like, I've never seen Daryl saying, "No, there's no comment in that one."
Yeah, so Daryl says something not funny. It probably
Daryl not to have a
funny.
sick joke.
Daryl has had more stuff cut from this show. We could create a full show that would have us all hounded out of the country.
Yeah. It wouldn't even be a case of, it might get us illegal. No, it would get us, we'd be deported. And all of us were born in the country. So, I mean, you know how extreme it would be. They would send us to Australia.
Wow.
And I'd be like, Victorian
where it would be welcomed.
Well, precisely.
He was talking about Aborigines. Do you want to be in government?
Victorian style justice. That's what would be in front of us. Right. We are focused. We'll start off. Well, let's focus on TakeOver first of all.
Yes.
It seems like a logical way of doing things, as it is, in fact, a chronological
Yeah, it's good,
way
that.
of doing things. So, NXT TakeOver. What do you think, first of all, Chris?
I thought it was a better show, if honest. I really, really enjoyed it. Didn't think there was there's no many matches on TakeOver, but I didn't think there was an overly bad match in it. Enjoyed it. I like it when they do shows that are like just short of 3 hours or something. Like,
Yeah.
God, I miss that.
Now, I've been waiting to do this all. As parents, we all know that. I mean, Dan, you won't be involved in this conversation.
It's
right?
me
So
and
you,
the dads.
you just take us as parents. Obviously, all as fathers, we all know that time is precious to us, don't we? So, as a father, with my fellow fathers here, we can all say.
Is this the only reason you invited us on? Just so you could get out, have a go at Dan?
I went through our phone. Right, who's got a kid?
Yeah,
I mean, Daryl has many, but he doesn't
for Chris
visit them
and D for
anymore.
Dan. Yeah, I like it.
But no, it's like I had to watch Survivor Series in 2 sittings because like there was no way I was getting through all of that in one evening.
What, you mean you weren't getting through the 3 hours and 45 minutes in one evening?
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Surprised. And I assume you watched all of the pre-show.
Like genuinely forgot there was a pre-show. Like I know we're not talking about Survivor Series. Only thing I've seen of the pre-show is that messed up flip that Callisto did.
Oh yeah,
That's all I've seen.
That was
Yay.
lovely.
Was that the landing on the ropes?
Yeah.
He got out of it pretty well, I thought.
He did.
Yeah.
But what an idiot.
Excellent. So, first match. Oh, sorry, Danny. Did you enjoy TakeOver?
Yeah, I did. I got to admit, I don't follow NXT at all, really.
Right.
So going into it, obviously the only thing I knew was from the promos, and I thought everyone did a great job. The stories in the ring sort of spoke for themselves, and the main event I think was better than the entire Survivor Series event. If I'm honest with you,
Dan, you watch
really
I
good.
wouldn't say religiously, but
Yeah.
you watch it pretty more often than, say, anyone else in this room.
Yeah.
Possibly Chris, I don't know.
It's good to put on a Saturday morning when you're making your breakfast.
There you go. That works. When you're pouring the milk into the cornflakes. It's like, wow, that was quick.
Hey, Saturday morning is my cooked breakfast morning. I'll have you know.
Okay,
Okay.
we're coming down on Saturday.
There you go. Right, everyone round to Dan's on Saturday. He'll cook breakfast for all of us. No, what do you think?
I really enjoyed TakeOver again. I think me and Daryl said a lot on last week's show that we felt this time it might be a bit closer because we always talk about how the main pay-per-views have never been better than the TakeOver when on the same weekend, and we thought maybe this time it'll be close. It wasn't close. TakeOver was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I put it to you that there is a mole on the inside in the Survivor Series that was finding a way of making sure that was the case. But we'll get back to that when we get to Survivor Series. First match then, Lars Sullivan against Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, Cassius Ohno. I love Cassius Ohno.
I like his theme tune. Makes me
Yeah.
happy.
On the WWE game, I've changed the music round, so one of the things that does pop up is the Cassius Ohno theme tune. I love the fact that like he was allowed to have similar music to when he was on the Indies. Because he got the same guy to like rap his theme on the Indies and stuff.
Did he? I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
like
I knew it was Cody Beware. I just assumed he was a fan.
Yeah, it's
hence the name Cody Beware.
it's the same. He did Chris Hero's Theatre. I can't remember what that was now, but I remember singing along to it a bit. At
They
Global
go
Wars last year.
hero, hero.
I mean, it wasn't like
Chris Hero ain't nothing to fuck with. That's the chorus. I remember. that
Splendid. Sounds like a nice chat.
I mean,
Yeah.
it weren't. I didn't think it was like it wasn't anything overly special. I'd say that match, but it did the job.
I feel
as
like
a-
it's by far the best. Like Lars Sullivan, I'm not saying he's had bad matches, but they've been they've been squash matches.
Yeah.
And this was the best Lars Sullivan match because even though I don't think Cassius Ohno looked like he got squashed, but at the same time he did.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he got enough in the match for it to be slightly competitive, but he did exactly what he did. Because I think I said last week as well, Cassius Ohno was kind of there to. He's a bit older now.
Yeah.
He's there to kind of help the young guys get along rather than to be a star in his own right, which is fine. He's still excellent at what he does. His ring gear's still a bit shit.
yeah.
Yeah, his ring gear is. Because like other people have their bellies hanging out. Why can't Chris Hero? Like it doesn't hurt him really. It's there, isn't it? You get on with it rather than wear a vest.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. Vest and pants. It's a bit you forgot your PE kit. It's not good. But yeah, this match was really great. Well, not really great. It was really good, but it did exactly what it should have done.
Danny, you'll know a bit about Chris Hero probably, but not a great deal about Lars Sullivan. Now I'm on a similar boat in that sense. What did you make of it? What did you make of him first of all?
Of Lars?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just is. It was a good character to watch. Like I say, you just said it was a sensier squash match. I didn't see that, but now you've said it, I sort of think actually, yeah, you're right in that sense. I don't know. It was enjoyable. Yeah, the story got told. I thought it was fine to watch. It was a fine opening match, I guess. So
I don't like say am I right in thinking this is the same guy who was Dylan Miley? Is that his name? Or he turned up one week on NXT. I feel like he squashed somebody and then disappeared.
I don't remember.
So is it?
Chris, say something.
Sort of forgive me for being, I don't know, not knowing all my knowledge, but did he come into this as a wrestler, or is he fresh as an athlete?
I don't think
become
he's
a wrestler
like,
because of NXT.
I don't think he's not a indie guy.
No, it'll be like a Braun Strowman type.
Right. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
That's the easy thing to make.
Because it does come across. I think I thought that it does come across.
Yeah, it I'd agree. It came across very much as he is a guy that they're wanting to build a little bit, but he's new.
Yeah. He's got the look.
Yeah,
he's got the look, and that's what
he's not so big that Vince is like make him skip NXT and put him on the main roster, but he's getting the rub from guys like Chris here. Well, Tessiso now.
That's what he's here for, isn't it? Like he's the sort of first NXT signing. I mean, re-signing, I guess, where it feels like they've signed him just to go back to everyone and go, nah, you ain't got him now. Way unlucky.
See, I remember the end of last year because like me and Becky went to Global Wars, and after those shows, she was like, Chris Hero's fucking brilliant. I've never seen this stuff before. And it were like, everyone would talk about, he's had these 2 great matches against Ishii and Shibata, and maybe he's going to New Japan. And then he goes to WWE. It's like, oh, he's off to WWE now instead.
I think maybe, to be fair, for him, it could have been a little bit like, because they sacked him the first time, didn't they? They were like, lose some weight. And he's like, no.
If anything, they brought him more on.
They brought him back for the traditional Triple H selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here I am.
By the way, you just did that on the broadcast. You did a pose there.
People know
a lot.
Why? People are listening.
People know. You know when you listen to this.
Yeah, when I'm listening to this, I'll know, but no one else will.
No.
All right, brilliant. Not the. So Google Triple H pose to know what he did.
Pose.
Google the Triple H selfie with Triple H. That's my personal favourite.
Is it H face as well?
Might
There's
be.
a H face one.
Yeah. My favourite one is after he won the title the last time after Royal Rumble. Someone photoshopped Triple H with Triple H's arm around Triple H. As he usually does with like any NXT person. Yeah.
Fanboy, isn't he?
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? Yeah. Like a bit the old Chris Hero, Cassius no. Yeah, his theme just makes me happy.
It was alright, yeah.
Don't like his gear.
No.
Not as bad as the first gear he had, but the basketball shirt. What do you make of the basketball shirt, Danny?
Yeah, like you say, it's sort of obvious that he's a bit tubby, so therefore he's wearing it because of that.
You know what? Daryl's going to be really annoyed that I didn't throw this out before we started talking about it.
All right.
But
you're going to have to,
Is he back?
So you play it and then...
Can I get a Wrestler Fashions?
Yeah. Wrestler Fashions.
PE kit gear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's PE kit gear. Yeah, it's definitely. It's spare gear, except it's... Do you think like Shane McMahon like hands him his cast-offs? He's like, just take the stitching out.
Cut sleeves off.
Take the stitching out. It'll be fine. Cut the sleeves off. It'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
You should throw rabbit punches rather than those big elbows. It'll look better.
Dickhead. Shane McMahon. Plenty to say. It's a very McMahon-centric show for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
Next match. This was Aleister Black, the former Tommy End, against Velveteen Dream. Now,
this was fucking
did either of you watch Tough Enough series?
Whatever the last series was.
Right.
No.
The answer is no, of course, because no one did. That was the one where Hulk Hogan was judging on it until
Okay.
it turned out he was really quite racist.
Ah.
Oh, is that a thing?
Which it's good. It's a good job that none of us are supporting him in any sort of way today.
So it's got a Union Jack on it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
okay.
That makes it okay.
He
That's
likes a Union Jack.
Hashtag we are the people.
right. Obviously, well, this is for Chris, really.
See, that's what I
his
should have said
favourite
last
things.
week, but I nearly said something completely different, which would have been the opposite of that
I'm
kind
glad
of.
you
Yeah, that would
didn't.
have been much worse. Well, it's his two of his favourite things is the Union Jack and racists. So yeah, I'm like,
It's almost like the two go hand in hand.
almost legally speaking, we have to say that.
Oh.
Anyway, the point is, this guy Patrick Clark, he was in Tough Enough, like whatever the series with Chris Jericho and Paige and all the mates.
Okay.
Is. Yeah, so like lots of people who came out of that great. Chris Jericho, Paige, Hulk Hogan, Daniel Bryan, all these people who have just gone on to continue.
Josh
their successful-
Brendel.
Yeah.
He got fired the other
And
week.
some people who won.
Sarah Lee left a few months ago because she got pregnant.
Yeah, much like every other Tough Enough, the winners have gone, long gone. But anyway, Patrick Clark, I think he was the only one who was a wrestler before.
Yeah, and he got really pissy with people because some of them didn't have the same wrestling knowledge as he did.
Yeah, so he got eliminated really early on, and they signed him to a developmental contract, and this is what he is. He's a Velveteen Dream.
Oh, man.
And-
Wow.
I'm so sold on him.
Yeah, what a guy, right?
Absolutely. I appreciated War Games as a match, but I think this one might be like my favourite because I love the promo build up. I've not seen much of NXT in the build up to it, so I haven't seen much of the story going in. But yeah, I'm so sold on both guys. But yeah, Velveteen Dream, yes, please.
Yeah,
Alistair Black is almost the perfect foil for him as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah.
the complete opposite almost, but
Such
just
a contrast.
fits perfectly.
Yeah, like I say, I echo what you're saying. He's a great character, great to watch. Just entertaining. It doesn't have to wrestle. He just does. He just is what he is, and it's brilliant. I think.
It's the entertainment that I really enjoy because I think there's a bit of with NXT being what it is. Obviously, it's supposed to be. It's this weird in between stage. It's not developmental in the way that developmental used to be, but it's not really a promotion on its own in the way that they pretend it is. But this is perfect. This is what I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want not everybody should be Johnny Boots and Tights doing a wrestling match that's amazing and gets. This is what they should be doing. I don't know why I'm hitting my book.
Yeah,
This is what they should be doing.
I felt this was the best match of the weekend.
Wow.
Like,
It was
entirely. I
very
thought this was
insane.
Wow,
absolutely brilliant. Like it was just such a perfect story inside the ring, and then also like I'll
Better
use
than
the comparison.
Enzo against Kalisto.
Yes.
Wow.
Just to compare, I know we're not talking about it yet, but the ending of Survivor Series. Compare that ending and how
Which
big
has
that
just
should
finished.
have been.
Now
There you go.
Oh, he's on
Yes,
it.
there we are. We got it. Thank you. You can take that one off. Take that one off the list.
Yep.
Right?
So yeah, like compared to the ending of Survivor Series, which should have been this big moment and got nothing. The ending of this match where Alistair Black, all he simply said, he just said his name.
Yeah.
And that's the whole build up to the match. And the crowd went fucking crazy for
Yeah.
him just saying Velveteen Dream.
It was like, it was
Oh.
nice that the crowd were really feeling it, and even behind the TV, it was nice to feel that crowd a little bit, which is a weird thing to say because you wouldn't, but you could tell they were really into it, and you sort of wanted to be there in that live crowd, and just anything, nothing to do with wrestling, just the characters, and as you say, Dan, the story. The crowd were loving it, and I were loving it, and as I say, I have no knowledge of these prior to watching this. It was really entertaining.
It's a really I love those type of gimmicks. Those gimmicks that make you real macho men feel quite uncomfortable. It's just, I love the whole Rick Rude tights thing that he did. And it is the same thing. He's just a little bit too flamboyant that makes your dad feel that little bit awkward, doesn't he?
Or makes you feel awkward when your dad's watching wrestling.
And then he's like, what's that bloke with tattoos doing?
Not specifically related, but just when you mentioned that, it just reminds me. One of my friends, his tells a great story about his dad. Right, it's similar to that in the sense they're watching Coronation Street. It's not wrestling, obviously, but it's related in a sense.
It's been a few
watching
fights
Coronation Street. I think you might even know this story, Danny, because it's one of our a mutual friend that we have. Watching Coronation Street, his mom's watching Coronation Street, his dad comes in, and it was when Auntie Cotton was on it, and he's now is he gay himself or are you?
He is
anyway,
gay, yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
anyway, I knew he played a gay character, but anyway,
Yeah.
so he's on it. So the dad walks in. Anthony Cotton's character kisses his boyfriend. The dad sat down and he just goes, Nope. Gets back up. Out he goes straight out, uncomfortable to the max. And I think that's probably the impact that Velveteen might have on people's dads
some people.
now.
Good.
But
See, I
Exactly.
thought you were going to tell the story saying I think my dad would be a bit uncomfortable because we literally saw him start on a 14-year-old on your stag do.
all right, okay. Well, it wasn't whoa, all right.
To be fair, the 14-year-old was a little dickhead.
Our dads evolve, everyone's dad's
yeah.
fought somebody.
My dad pulled a spanner out when a guy tried to stab him.
My dad.
We've had enough stories to say about my
Can you hit one of
ridiculous-
Daryl's jingles so that we can make it clear? There you go. I think probably the
I
slide.
don't know what this one is. I think it's some
Spitful?
Jack Swagger related.
Who'd winning a fight out of Jack Swagger and a shark?
It's like he's here.
I keep forgetting what that one is, and then I open it like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah, it's worth it.
Can I just say, well, we're going on the next day. I did like, again, from an audience point of view, that they kept swapping the rings in between matches. They weren't just all set in one
That's
ring.
how
I
they
know,
used to do it on the old War Games pay-per-views.
yeah, because I know
Fall
you.
Brawl.
I'm sure it was you on a previous podcast.
Yep.
That's what I would say. Said that might be an issue if you're there as a
Yeah,
live
well,
crowd.
that was
and
what I said. I
I
said
thought
I
it was a-
wasn't keen on the idea of doing the two rings, but I was
I
okay
thought
with it.
It was nice.
I was
Yeah, it
surprised
really
how
good.
okay with that was. But yeah, when you have matches like this and characters like this, it makes it a lot
Yeah.
easier. The women's four-way then, the NXT Women's Championship.
Yes.
This was a
Kairi
match.
Sane.
Kairi Sane, the Japanese pirate lady.
Yeah, Pirate
Against-
Princess.
Yes, the
She's
pirate
like
princess.
she's a real life Disney character.
Yeah.
That's what she is. She's a real life Disney character.
Yeah.
I watched that thinking like, geez, if I had, like, I have these things like I'm in a room with dads. Like if I had, if I had a daughter,
Well,
like
as
she's
fathers,
the type of
and,
person.
Yeah.
Like if I can imagine having a daughter and her just being like, who's this person? Like and being like really thinks that's she's like.
I mean,
brilliant.
we've discussed my daughter is not obsessed with Disney characters at the moment.
No.
Obsessed
Russian
with other
nesting
characters.
dolls.
I mean, characters are away.
Yeah.
But, we don't need to be specific about that.
Soviet leaders.
But yeah, she's she is like a real Disney character.
Yeah.
It's really strange. And then you've got Nikki Cross,
Yeah.
whose character is just so overblown and brilliant compared to what she was in the Indies. We've talked about this before. Like her gimmick on the Indies was a bit shit.
Boring, bland.
Yeah, it was a bit
I couldn't
like,
have told you what it was. She used to be an ICW, Danny. I could see you looking at us a little bit there. And she was just a woman who does wrestling.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
she
that
was like the
generic
biggest
woman
star
number
in the
4.
world or something
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
like, what was she, Nikki Storm?
Nikki Storm, yeah.
As with every wrestler's surname, which is Storm.
Yeah.
They're all Storm. They're all related. Johnny
Now
Storm and
the-
Nikki Storm and Tony Storm and Jack Storm
yep.
and Dave
From-
Morales. Oh, no.
From Jack Storm from 1PW.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we go.
I don't know your money.
There we
There
go.
he is, there he
Yes.
is.
Nailed it. That was because like that. 10 seconds later, he said the clip anyway.
It's because I'm having to use Dropbox as a.
Yeah, it's having to stream directly through the internet.
Yeah.
Just to play Daryl. So Daryl, in a way, is the internet.
Like his
That's a scary
Lawnmower man.
thought. He has seen a lot of the internet from
Yeah.
what I've heard.
Yeah, again,
Most of them are penises.
legally, we're not. Yeah.
Oh, what did you
There we
say?
go.
Oh, sorry. Most of them are
hang on,
penises.
hang on.
Penises of wrestlers.
Yeah. Say it again.
Come on.
That would be penises.
Penis cast.
There we go.
No, it's good.
It's like you're hitting it on the volley. You've got to wait for it to drop, and then he says
It's
it.
also
So,
it's also because there's like 2 seconds on the beginning of each clip of silence.
splendid.
It's like Partridge in his jingles. isn't it?
We aim for that. That's our standard. Yeah, this was fine.
It was all right.
We even mentioned
Ember Moon.
but Ember Moon and
Billy
Peyton
Kay
Royce.
we haven't
didn't come
mentioned-
to the
we haven't
ring with
mentioned the other two people.
Peyton Royce.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned Peyton Royce or Billy Ember Moon. We really should because Ember Moon won.
Yeah. See, out of everyone, I didn't expect Ember Moon to win because I felt like she lost twice to Asuka. She's the one she's tied to losing to Asuka more than anyone else in NXT. I know Nikki Cross has lost to her as well, but with her, like she's lost 2 high-profile matches to Asuka. And now Asuka's gone, and she's won the title, and it feels a bit. I know they got Asuka in the ring afterwards to hand over the title to her and endorse her, but she lost to Asuka twice.
Yeah.
It should have been. I thought like. Who did I select? Nikki Cross or Peyton Roy? Like
You selected
Nikki Cross, I think.
Yeah, you did select Nikki
Yeah, 'cause-
Cross. I was trying to think of some clever Japanese reference like a couple of weeks ago, but I don't have that.
Yeah, so my thinking was it's not going to be Kairi Sane because how WWE thinks they're not going to have 2 Japanese women champions in a row, and then so it has to be Nikki Cross or Peyton Royce stealing the victory. But then Ember Moon wins it, and it feels like one of those 2 should have won it, so Ember Moon can beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more okay. Where do they go with it from here?
Yeah.
Because it would have made sense. Heel champion, give Ember Moon something to fight over a little bit.
Yeah, I guess they feel like Asuka was a heel champion and that she wasn't.
Yeah.
They tried, but she wasn't.
No.
People loved her because she's fucking brilliant. But
She is good. Yeah, I think you can make the argument that Ember Moon was the one that pushed her the hardest, so that's why. But I
Yeah.
think there's still that little sense of emptiness there.
also, I should have got half a point because Nikki Cross did have Peyton Royce.
He already won.
Nikki
won
Cross,
already.
Yeah, Nikki Cross had Peyton Royce pinned for about 14 seconds.
Right. That's
When-
not how wrestling works. So
When
is it?
Kairi Sane went for her elbow drop, she put Nikki Cross on top of her, and she was just laid there pinning her. And the referee made out like he was checking her shoulders, but she was down. So
Right.
technically, Nikki Cross should be champion.
I
And
mean, if
should
you're
have
going to
this
pull
point.
on that thread, Dan, like wrestling unravels.
Yeah. Sure, don't pull the thread, otherwise the show ends now and the concept is destroyed.
I used to have a game called Pulling the Thread, and we don't want to play that game.
Okay, I don't want to know.
It's not as bad. I made that sound way worse than it is.
so bad.
Alright.
It's something Daryl. I think
In
you'd
this
enjoy
climate,
it.
Dan, let's not play that.
It's the
game.
idea of telling a story but making it more and more ridiculous.
Oh,
So
I had
eventually, like it's when the person realizes you're talking absolute shit.
Okay.
So you start by saying, "Oh, this thing happened to me today," and you carry on telling the story, and you have to get as far as possible before the person goes, "You're talking shit."
Yeah.
In the reverse of that, we had a friend at school who would often tell a story, and the game, like he was being deadly serious, but the game
Yeah.
was work out what actually happened because what he just said was absolute bullshit.
Which
Anyway.
is likely to have happened. Yeah. Quick thoughts, guys?
That Ember Moon finish is going to hurt in a few years, isn't it?
Yeah. That's not. She's not setting herself up for a long career with that one, is she?
No, it's a bit of a.
She's gonna have those Mae Young hips.
Oh yeah.
Well, she did all right. To be fair, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
No,
she lived
I mean-
for a while. You know?
Yeah.
and that's all we could ask
And
for in wrestling.
Let's just pose this one out as well. If she was still
Yes.
alive, she'd still be allowed to do in the ring stuff while Daniel Bryan sat annoyed on the corner. Yeah, she's fine.
Oh, come on!
She's like a bag of water at this point.
She's probably still got more chance of wrestling than Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Hey, it was an all right match, wasn't it? It was quite fast paced. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I think compared to everything else on the show, it lacked a little bit. but-
I, in terms of the women's matches from that weekend, I think it was the best one.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I think it probably was.
I always struggle with four ways because I think it's harder to tell a story, and it obviously depends on who's in the ring. So I think
it's who takes advantage of the situation
yeah,
more
exactly.
than the
Yeah,
big
a
story.
triple threat easier. It's so much easier to tell that story, but I think they did a good job with it. So yeah,
It's fine. Just fine. Fine when it
It did. Like I say, it did what it did.
Yep. I don't want to talk about the next match. You guys talk about the next match. I refuse to talk about the next match. In fact,
Drew,
it's a travesty.
what's his last name? A bit McIntyre.
Phenomenal.
I nearly called him Galloway then. I was like, it's Drew Galloway,
That's
isn't
not
it?
his name.
I'm used to it now.
My boy Drew cost me the predictions competition by. Oh, yeah, good.
To be fair, we all got that one wrong.
Yeah,
Like no one saw this coming. Andre Cien Almas winning the NXT title.
yeah. Nobody saw
I,
that coming.
I suppose it's the perfect. It makes sense in terms of his story that he's got
Yeah.
new management. He's on a winning streak. If he lost, then that kind of loses all momentum in what they're doing with him. So I suppose that makes sense.
See,
But
at the same time though, it felt like on the TV and stuff, he was kind of being pushed in the same way Hideo Itami was pushed the other month when he went for the title, where it was like we're giving him this.
on the undercard.
Yeah, it's like
specifically.
yeah, it felt like it was an undercard title match, and it was a bit weird. And then all of a sudden he wins, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm happy because it's La Sombra and that, and I like La Sombra. But
Oh, here he is. He's like, I liked him
the
before. He was cool.
original member of Los Ingobernables, yes,
Yeah,
I do like
there
La
you are.
Sombra.
He preferred Travis back when they were Glass Onion. There's a reference that people will totally get.
Like I got that one, but not necessarily.
But no one else will. It's just me, you, and Fran here. They go, yeah.
It's the album after the Man Who that I can't remember the name of that I really like.
Yeah.
30 Memories?
Invisible Band. There you go.
Oh, Invisible Band, yeah.
I don't mean to upset you, Graham,
Uh-huh.
but I will ask you, with your boy Drew,
Yeah. My boy.
your boy, what
My
is
boy.
it that you are overly sold on with
The
him?
Scottish-
What do you what apart? Okay, Scottish
If I'm
aside,
completely honest, Chris, as you may have noticed by the change in my voice,
purely
it's just, it's literally,
cool.
yeah.
cool.
No, I do like Drew.
Did you have to tell us in such a high pitched voice?
Well, we saw him at ICW a few years ago versus Tommy End.
Yeah.
And that was a really, really good match.
It was, yeah.
Like,
Like, brawled
and-
all around Sheffield. They actually went into What's it called now?
Arundel Gate. Yep. They brawled in Arundel Gate.
I love it.
Two current NXT superstars brawled in Arundel Gate.
I wish you saw backstage brawls, matches going backstage in WWE.
ICW do it
And-
every show in
Very
Sheffield.
rare.
There's always one that goes because they've got that big area next to the academy that they can
Yeah.
brawl in. But now they're at the plug and it's an NCP car park outside. It's not as exciting.
Which could be interesting. in its
Oh,
own
that
way.
Chinese restaurant across from it,
That's pretty good.
where Biffy wants that.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember. See?
Bet Biff Clyro in that.
Very good. There you go.
Scottish reference.
Yes,
Hey!
brought it back round. We're doing this. It's a real radio show. Yeah. No, I don't have any more to say. Drew was ruined. You guys talk.
It was a really good match. His injury is a shame, but it was.
Well, yeah. I mean, it worked out in a way. It sort of worked out because he might be out for 6.
Whee.
Yeah, if he has to have surgery, he's out for a while.
I don't
But,
think he'll go back to NXT if he does.
Yeah, they should bring him up to the main
He'll
roster.
just turn up on the main roster.
Drew.
Yeah, along with the rest of 3MB.
He needs to feud with Jinder. Like, genuinely, he needs to have a feud with Jinder.
Actually, by that point, they'll probably be on the same level. So,
What, Jinder's coming to NXT? Is that that's what I'm saying?
I think Jinder would be lucky to come to NXT
Yeah,
by that point.
Because then the Indian tour would be over and they don't need him anymore.
Yeah,
so.
pretty much. Yeah, it's almost like that's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, thoughts. Danny, I don't suppose you're seeing a great deal of Andrade Cien Almas.
No, but again, this is for those who don't know, I do a lot of acting and stuff, and everything I'm saying is character, and I'm just sold on it. It's great. The little things that he was doing, he did the thing. I describe it as a half 619 thing in the ropes, and just everything. It was
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was brilliant. He was really entertaining to watch. But I do like
Drew
your boy Drew.
My boy.
I think again, he's gone away. He's not just left it and gone. Oh, I'm good to be in WWE. I'll be back. They'll call me back one day. He has worked hard, and you can see a major difference from when he first started to where he is now. And he deserves to be in that main event. Oh,
It is kind of crazy
Title
thinking when
picture,
he
at least.
left WWE, he went straight to Evolve and won their world title from Chris Hero.
yeah.
Like his first night out, and then just had this huge run on the Indies and stuff. It's kind of crazy to think about it in that context.
Including ICW, where he was their champion for a long time before he lost to Grado.
Yeah.
It was a real thing. That was a real thing that happened.
That's happy because he's Scottish as well. So you're
yeah,
right with that.
exactly.
That's
See, I
fine.
was enjoying
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it's fine. We've not even talked about ICW. We probably won't. Really,
No,
'cause we don't have time.
I didn't watch it either.
Oh, okay. Do you want spoilers?
I know what happened.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't
Joe
watch
Coffey won the title.
it.
No, he didn't. BT
He lost
London.
it, BT
I didn't even
London.
remember the results. Let's move on.
Jeez.
So yeah, the big match. Oh, sorry, Chris. Anything else to say about Drew McIntyre?
I mean,
Andrade?
yeah, can do, but like,
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna
It'd be polite of me to.
Well, I feel like I'm reading the room wrong. But I really actually weren't that fussed on the match.
Oh, okay.
Like,
fair.
I don't know. Probably I was just
Good. We need contrasting opinions. That's why I've got Dan and Daryl usually. Daryl,
Well,
admittly, contrasting a little too much
Yeah.
with what's
Morals.
socially
Just
acceptable.
contrasting
Yeah, yeah.
morals, really.
Yeah.
And, you know-
Daryl prefers matches where no one takes bumps and like very.
Okay, I
straight-
don't
yeah.
mind that. That I agree with him on. It's more, the
Yeah,
casual.
I will
offensive.
talk. I will tell again about when I came back into the arena at NXT and Daryl was sat there describing to my girlfriend why Bull Dempsey versus Ty Dillinger was the best match she'll ever see.
And I contend that he was right. That he was right on that night.
He's like, they did fuck all. It was great.
It was great.
no, but I don't have any reason why. I'm not overly sold too much on Drew. I was texting you, weren't I?
Yeah.
Actually, through it, and like I don't. If he went up onto the main roster, I genuinely don't know what they do with him. I don't know what they do different from the last time round. Just because I think
We'll
there
have
are
Shane endorsing this time.
yeah, but
Just get all the McMahons. Get Vince's brother who we never see.
oh gosh, yeah.
He's not a real brother.
I appreciate though that we've got like more managers. Just give everyone a manager.
Yeah, that's the rule. That's the
brilliant.
rule.
Yeah.
If
I love
anyone's
that.
no good at anything, just give
Give
him
them
a
I will say,
manager.
Graham, we know what happened to Vince's brother.
Yeah,
He had the blood sucked from
Yeah.
Oh,
him.
yes, yeah, that's the rule. Yes, they all had the blog stuff for them. Yeah, okay,
Vampires.
I can see what you mean. I can see it's one of these things. If you don't find a space for somebody like that, they can easily get lost in the shuffle.
Which is what happened to him last time.
Yeah, but don't worry. I mean, all he needs to do is buff himself up and. Well, I don't know. I mean,
Become
I don't know if
Indian.
the Scottish. I don't know if the Scottish market is as big as the Indian market. Probably financially a little bigger, and that's not just bias. That's the fact that the Indian market hasn't increased at all since they put a Canadian in as the. So yes, the main event, the main attraction of War Games was in fact War Games. 2 rings,
Yeah.
2 cages, 3 teams.
No roof.
several rules, no
Shark
roofs,
cages.
and a bunch of shark cages because that's what they need to sell the toys for.
Actually, in the build up to the War Games match, when they showed the things of William Regal like walking into the room of each team, all three of those segments were really great because Undisputed Era just sat, chilling and stuff, and William Regal walks in and gives them their instructions, and then it shows Authors of Pain while what's he called?
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong is getting lectured by Paul Ellerin.
It's not
There
hard
we
to
go.
forget Roderick Strong.
It was Paul Ellerin's name that I was having trouble with.
Paul Ellerin.
Okay.
Like Paul
Yeah,
Ellerin
so
is
Paul Ellerin's
such
there
an
pointing him.
looking man, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's great. Compared to when his daughter was on the Mae Young Classic, who's all smiling and
But,
everything.
by the way, I fucking love that when they did one of the promos for the match, they had Paul Ellerin like saying, "I was in the first War Games,"
And he was
yes!
ripped as fuck.
and he's there with his mustache, and it's like, oh, I love
In his
that.
muscles, he was ripped. It was crazy. Like that's what he looks like. It's great. But yeah, my favorite one was the Sanity one when they go in, and the Sanity dressing room was exactly how it should have been. It was absolute chaos. You've got Alistair Wolf just in the background laughing at stuff, and then Nikki Cross just appears from nowhere and runs across the screen, and Willie Regal just walks in like,
Hello.
so
Don't forget the rules, like. That's William Regal, not Kurt Angle from
Angle.
a few weeks ago. Yeah. Kurt Angle's back, everybody.
yeah,
All right, it's me, Kurt Angle. Sorry.
That were a good impression.
Let's talk about the actual.
Oh, you've not got your headphone on.
Oh, what?
Oh,
It's mugged me off. What's he done? Hold on.
That were a good impression, that mate.
Oh, cheers. Yay. Oh, I'm happy now. I should have kept my headphones on. There you are. Just to keep Daryl in our hearts and in my ears. So, yeah. There was a lot of concern about this match beforehand, about the format, about the no roof. I did like that they immediately said, right, just to be clear, if you leave the cage, you lose.
Yeah.
I was glad that they said that straight away. The shark cages, yeah, a little bit gimmicky, but
It was like so many things where it was like, oh, this isn't really War Games, is it? And I was guilty of it.
Yeah.
But then everything worked.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, Killian Dane becomes the fucking best person in
my
the company.
what a guy, right? Also, by the way, I mean, I feel like I'm just going to address it because it's the first thing that comes to mind. Chair shots to the face. When
Kyle O'Reilly.
yeah.
I guess it's okay if you do it to yourself.
Yeah.
Kyle O'Reilly doing the old, I went to hit him and it
Ouch.
bounced off the rope and smashed me in the face.
Yeah, I'd love it if nothing personal against Kyle O'Reilly, but I'd love it if he got suspended for that. They were like, no, you can't do chair shots. But it's my own face. Too bad. You knew the rule. Off you go. Yeah, I love this match. I thought it was brilliant.
I thought it had a perfect amount of everything because there's so much involved that you could overdo. You could overdo the use of the cage. Obviously, it was 9 people in there. You can all get mixed up in which ring do you use, the centre between the two rings, and I thought it was well played. It can turn into chaos, and I thought they planned it really well.
The one thing I wasn't happy with, while the match was going on still, I was like, okay,
Here we
I
go,
accept
here we go.
everything. They put that thing in between the rings.
The metal.
So one of my favourite things in the old War
Ah,
Games
yeah,
matches was when someone inevitably slipped in between the two rings. And there was one match, someone actually got stuck in between the two
my
rings for a
God.
while. Like legitimately got stuck and couldn't get their leg out. And I
Which
think
Dan,
it's,
of course, loved.
yeah, I
that's
love
a
stuff
great
like that.
comedy moment.
Yeah,
So
and
you
they put
are
that metal thing.
happy because it didn't go wrong.
Yeah.
You want to, I mean,
In a way, aren't we all?
it went wrong in non-funny ways. Like,
Yeah.
what's his name? Alexander Wolf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like his head exploding and all that.
Ouch.
He went all scanners and his head went crazy. Like,
Yeah.
That was bad.
That was, there was some brutal
there was a
stuff
bit of
in
his
this.
head on his arm. It was.
It had a bit of an old feel to it, didn't it? Because they didn't pull them guys out of the match.
Yeah, they
like
didn't.
obviously the refs tried to clean them up and stuff, but like I don't know. It felt
It definitely felt like a
nice
bit of a throwback and in a good
Yeah.
sort of way. It
Yeah.
didn't feel like a cheap imitation. It felt like a new
They
interpretation.
took, yeah, I'd say interpretation is a good word. They took it and made it their own,
Yeah.
and it worked. Despite what people thought, it did work.
So, what were people's favourite spot of the match? Because mine's very clear: is Killian Dane doing the coast
coast
to
to
coast.
coast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was-
mental.
I think it just-
So- Like we've seen Killian Dane quite a bit in ICW and stuff, and we know he's capable of ridiculous shit. And
Yeah.
it was
I
just
didn't think he was capable of that.
that was amazing.
Yeah. That's a big guy
Massive.
to be flying from
Yeah.
one side to the other. He was.
It's funny, that's the sort of thing that you would have expected them to rely on a roof for him to
Yeah.
hold himself, and yet no, I'll just lob myself across.
He's
It's all
brilliant
fine.
because he's kind of just been like the meat in the room for Sanity a lot of the time. When he got switched out of the tag title match
Emphasis
and
on
stuff
meat.
like that, And then he's coming to this match and be like, right, I'm going to be the fucking star of this.
Yeah.
And you could tell like they set it up for him to shine as well.
Wasn't it him who ate the key as well? I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
That was
really
great.
funny. That was a really good.
Just-
Oh my god, he ate the key!
I absolutely love Sanity and everything they do because, like, I love the just chaotic evil of him. It's like just everything they did. Like, so as soon as they came in, they were like, "Before we get in the cage, we're going to bring all the weapons in, and then lock everyone in with us."
Yes.
Like it's just stuff like that. It's just so good. Like you want someone like that on the show who's just like it's unpredictable.
Yeah,
That's Eric Young off of Team Canada.
Eric Young's fantastic.
Don't fire
isn't he?
Eric. That's who he is.
He's brill.
Great.
Absolutely brill. He
Paul.
has such crazy eyes.
Yeah.
I think the beard and the crazy eyes are definitely a winning combination.
Oh, gotcha.
He's got weird little stubbly fingers as well, which helps in a way. Like it's a little bit. I know Daryl would make some kind of inappropriate comment at this point.
Has he
I
sent us
hope
one?
you don't have it.
I mean, I've got one I'm saving for later. So I
Okay,
can't
well,
use
you
that.
save that for later, and we'll use that for later. Yeah. So I mean, it seems redundant to. Well, no, I was about to say it seems redundant to ask what your favorite match was, but actually, yeah, just to quickly round us off. Dan, favorite match?
Black versus Dream.
Danny, same?
yeah, definitely the same.
Chris?
Oh, just to be different, I'll go War Games.
I think I'm going to say War Games just because, but so impressed with the other match and but tremendous show.
There was so
Loved
much
it.
going off in War Games, but I'm a character man, and both characters were amazing in that. And really, you didn't need wrestling for me to be entertained, which is.
I just realised during the Drew McIntyre match, I think I do have an opinion from Daryl here.
Okay, good. Well, we need that.
I hope
That's what
it's
we
that.
want.
You shit. Stop.
No, it's not that.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
not that
there
one.
you go.
No, that was in case we did a report.
Oh, yeah, okay, the
There
Drew
isn't.
Gulak report. We do the Drew Gulak
No, there's no
report
Drew
now.
Gulak report this week.
No, you're not playing the Drew Gulak report.
It's not on this.
No, but play the Daryl Drew Gulak report, though, because we could do the Drew
him
Gulak
complaining about the
We
Drew
could
Gulak
do-
Right,
report.
stop. Fucking stop. This is shit. Stop it. I do not approve of this. I do not want any more Drew fucking Gulak reports.
Yeah, so
So we're not doing that section.
Daryl's
then.
completely relevant opinion on the Drew Gulak report. Yeah, so that's it. We're finished. Oh no, hold on. Whoa! Time out. It's a bumper episode. We've got Survivor Series to talk about, and we're going to talk about Survivor Series after this.
The best looking man, the best dressed man, long limousine, jet airplane, custom made clothes, and any woman in the world I want. The Nature Boy!
And we're back talking about Survivor Series. It's Danny and Chris and Dan are all still here. It's all fine. We're still, we've
It's not like the last few weeks where someone randomly disappeared. In
yeah.
the interval every
Who did
week.
that? Some dude. Oh, no. Survivor Series. We all watched the pre-show, right? Nope. Let's move on. Right. So let's start off.
There's one thing on the pre-show. I think we've already mentioned it, but
Yeah.
Kalisto's incident with the trampoline and on the ropes, that was funny.
Yeah. Let's start. So what? I didn't watch the pre-show. What happened?
Well, we didn't watch the pre-show.
but you
we saw
saw
that
this
clip on the
happen. Okay.
internet.
Yeah.
You know, he dives into the ring.
I do.
At the beginning of his entrance. Yeah, he didn't quite make the ring. You know, he does it all the time. He dives into the ring.
Yep.
He does it every single night. It landed on the ropes.
Oh.
He did do a flip, covered up. Get it wrong, keep it strong. But did look a bit rubbish. Yeah.
He's throwing the little actress reference in there, which I particularly enjoyed, Danny. Yeah, get it on, keep it strong.
From the theater.
Yeah.
V8.
Yeah.
What's the point of the cruiserweight belt?
It's
Hideo Itami's
purple.
coming up to challenge for it next.
So what?
It's bright,
Yeah, and if
it's
you
bright
like
and
Hideo
colourful.
Itami, you can buy a signed edition of Hideo Itami. Signed it off of Ring of Honor Glory by I can't remember which one it is. One of the Ring of Honor DVDs is on eBay. You can buy it off of me.
Okay.
There you go.
Jules
Go for it.
forgot to take a photo of me with Hideo Itami.
Who did?
I've told that story before, I think.
What's that?
When we went to Houston WrestleMania,
Oh, yeah.
Hideo Itami was staying in the same hotel as us. and I went to get a photo with him, and Jules didn't take the photo properly.
No.
Well, because he doesn't know how to operate a camera.
Oh, he's old, isn't he? Yeah. See, Jules, I know
old
you're
man.
listening. Best thing is, I'll be hanging out with him before this comes out, and I'll know all day. I'll know.
Excellent. That's how to take your revenge. Record first, speak to them, revenge afterwards.
All day, I'll just be like, yeah, Fucking burn,
Just you
mate.
wait, boy. Just you wait.
He's used to the pinhole camera. Oh, great. No. See, now I'm part of it. I might have ruined it. First match was Shield against the New Day. I enjoyed this match.
No,
So
but-
it was all right, a bit long though, weren't it?
yeah, it was very long. I watched it on my
It was, yeah.
hour lunch break, and
Yeah.
I had to go back before the end of the match. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, we've done the joke already, but unfortunately, yeah, that match is just ending now, along with the show and all the other and all our hopes and dreams.
It was a good match, though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
What I liked, my favourite part of the match is when the first tag for Roman Reigns, and everyone went, yeah! And as soon as he got in the ring, went, you still suck! It was so good. Not even like 2 seconds, and
yeah,
it was straight back to the original.
What I did enjoy about it specifically was that I bought the false finishes a
Yes.
little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
because I thought going in, I was like, Shield are winning easily, and then they built up everything to what was clearly the finish. That's the finish right there.
Double
And then
midnight hour.
Yeah, and then it didn't happen, and they moved on to the double midnight hour. They didn't do the power bomb. They did the double midnight hour, and then I was like, oh my god, that's actually okay. That's still pretty good though.
My 2 comments on this match are both Big E centric.
Mhm.
So first off, when he does the spear outside the ring,
Oh.
he started doing it in a way that he doesn't land on his head.
Safely.
Yeah, he
Yes.
landed it safely this time.
He
He's
landed
learned
sideways.
not to land on his fucking neck.
That was literally one of my notes, that
Yeah.
he did the spear, and I don't know, because I sat there going, did Dean help him with the spear, or
He
did
like-
push himself off a little bit?
He
or-
impacted properly and then spun out of it, so he
Yeah.
landed on his side instead
Yeah.
of his head. And the second thing, he said, we've never broken up too much, so you know what's coming. It's got to end someday, and it's starting, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the big factor of the promo, wasn't it? at the
Yeah,
beginning?
everything. He kept saying it over and over again. And this is WWE, like the main roster, doesn't do subtlety well. Like, we'll put a subtle hint that the New Day might be breaking up soon. We've never broken up. We've never feuded with each other. We've never broken up. We've never feuded with each other.
don't
We've never.
break the New Day
Yeah.
Don't do that, because what are they going to do?
Well, Kofi's going to retire apparently. Kofi
he
said.
said
Yeah.
Kofi said as soon as
Yeah,
they're
it
over,
was,
that's it.
table-
Really?
Yeah, they did.
How old is Kofi?
He's like nearly 40.
Fuck, get out.
Doing
He's
well,
got a
isn't he?
Does look
youthful
good.
looking
Yeah, does look
face.
good.
He's got the Jericho chest, but otherwise he's doing well.
Yeah. God. Okay.
Yeah, it was they did on the
Aw.
the table for threes they do on the
Yeah, yeah,
network.
yeah.
The table for three was the table three the New Day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, I'm enjoying this a lot, but once it's done, I think I'm gonna go. Because, like, frankly, to be fair, would you rather retire or be in one-on-one matches with Dolph Ziggler again? ad
Yeah,
infinitum?
no.
Just on while we're on table for threes, the other week you and Daryl were very excited to watch the Shield one when it went up.
Yep.
And we nearly watched it. Instead, I put on Isaac Yankem versus Bret Hart from SummerSlam 95.
Yeah, he did.
You read the room. You were like,
Yeah.
what would everyone like to watch?
And then
Everyone
did
would like to watch-
specifically the opposite.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But then,
More Bret Hart, please.
why would you want to watch the Shield one when there's a Nation one on there?
We've seen that one already.
I hadn't seen it. I didn't know it
Oh,
was
I've seen
there.
that. No, that one's brilliant
It's great.
because
Who's
They
on from the
give,
name?
It's Farouk, Godfather, and Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
right, we all get to tell Danny because Danny doesn't know. So, many years ago, you might remember this. I don't know if you were watching. I don't remember it, but I know of it now. When The Rock was in the Nation,
Yeah.
he did a whole promo where he gave out gifts to
Yeah,
everyone in
I
the
know
Nation.
that.
Yeah. Well, sure enough, in this, what did
No.
they did? The Rock wasn't there, but he sent them all gifts, and so.
Please tell me
Is-
Farouk still got the
Mark
same
Henry
gift.
got a photo. No, Mark Henry got a Rolex, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Mark
Hammer
Henry.
got
Yeah.
a Rolex.
Yeah.
Farouk got a photo of the
Brilliant.
Rock sign.
Brilliant.
A new photo of the Rock sign.
Yeah,
That
like
is
it's
amazing.
him like in his Hollywood promo shoot.
That
Like,
is
What I really
Much
like
better than the
about
Shield
that,
one.
what I really liked about that as well is that I'm sure that someone went, look, Dwayne, they're doing this thing. What do you want to? Ava was like, I've got just the idea. I bet. that's
Or
what
did they just buy them as WWE and say, yeah, the Rock's
Don't
The
ruin
Rock-
it. Don't ruin it.
Shift
Don't,
your eyes,
don't-
shift your
don't
eyes.
peel back the curtain.
Tell
We've
them, not
established-
to, tell them not to mention my allegedly sham marriage.
Don't pull the We have mentioned that on the show, haven't we? Have we mentioned that on the show?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. We have our own opinions about The Rock. We like it. It's fine, do what you like, mate. But, we have our opinions. That's all I'm saying. The Shield against the New Day. More, yes, good. I enjoyed.
good.
Fine.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
I thought it was good for an opener.
Very strong opener.
Yeah, I thought it
the
was,
crowd got the crowd going.
Certainly did.
More so than probably the
Chris?
pre-show.
it was fine.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like it was just fine.
I think it's very different to what it could have been if it was expected to be something else.
Yeah.
if this was like one of the feature matches, and I know it was, but if this was like later on, I think it probably would have been bumped up a little bit more. But it was a good opener.
Yeah.
And it did what it needed to do. It put two good trifecta three-way teams against each other, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Were New Day supposed to be the heels of the match, or did it
Yeah,
not matter? Because it was hard to gauge, I think. I think the promos from the beginning were sort of they were being angrier.
That was a problem with a lot of stuff on this show,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it was kind of like, you're supposed
Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Like that was the big issue with the show, where it's like you've got two things feuding with each other and it's this whole rivalry, but it's not a rivalry because no one cares.
Yeah.
It's like we just want to see matches and stuff. Like Gear's a better story than, oh, I'm on Raw and I like being on Raw. It's great. I were on SmackDown last time. It were great.
Fucking t-shirts, man. This is going to be a
half and
major
half
feature.
t-shirts.
Oh, well.
Why don't they just wear their colour in their own gear? So like AJ,
We'll talk about that later.
We'll get back to that. I know.
Yeah.
I have it. Oddly enough, even though I got pissed off at the t-shirts, I have a further issue with that we'll get back to later.
Yeah, and we keep mentioning the t-shirts because one of us in here does own a half and half scarf.
Oh, right, okay. Look, okay, let's address this now.
Who's that
okay?
then?
What is it a half and half scarf of?
It's a half and half scarf of my dad's team and my team, or the two teams that I
that's quite
support, if you
romantic.
like.
Yeah.
So my intention was, I have a photo of it with little Mo, and
Yeah,
he
did
didn't
you
like
send me
it
that
at
and
all.
said, do you feel bad about it or
he
something
cried.
like that?
Yeah, he cried when I put it here. Yeah, I'm a terrible father. I mean, you two as fathers will understand what that feels like occasionally.
I've got a pretty good idea of how awful I am
no
with
one,
kids.
just me. Okay.
Great, I've got a pretty good idea of how bad I am with kids. My first interaction with your son was explaining Jack the Ripper's Chronicle 5.
Yeah, but I mean, until
I
you're a
genuinely did
parent, you're a parent, you don't know, do you?
I
You
genuinely
just
held his
don't.
child in my arms and said, Mary Kelly was the fifth victim of Jack the Ripper.
Well, it's got to know sometime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You could do Starling next.
I just wanted to get him in there early so he understood that some people argue there's only 4 victims.
Splendid.
Yeah.
Speaking of women who are victims
They'll
of
remember
something,
it for
we
the
have
rest
this-
of their lives.
Yeah.
Come on, no one's giving props to that segue. Speaking of women who were victims of something, we had the women's Survivor Series match.
And there was 5 of them on each side.
There you go, 5 on
There
each
was.
side. So,
Bit,
And Raw got a bit of a boost before this match.
what? Because Natalia was announced for SmackDown.
Because Stephanie McMahon's there.
she
Because
did the pep talk.
Oh,
she gave him all
God.
pep talks. Yeah, if
It was a bad pep.
go
talk.
kill him. Yay. Yay.
It was very high pitched, weren't it?
Yeah, I didn't-
Bailey, don't do any hogging
No.
on this match. You've
Not
got
a
to
fan
win.
of Stephanie. And
Because I won't. I'll do a win. She didn't.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Don't you think every time Stephanie talks to the women, she's sort of ruining the women's revolution thing?
I think when she talks to anyone, she's ruining them.
yeah, just I think she goes on about the whole women's revolution thing and giving power
It
back
was
to
her
women.
idea. Did you know that?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
You don't know.
She
Gosh,
started the women's
don't
They
revolution.
didn't wrestle before Stephanie came
No.
along, did they?
No.
No.
And
She
she
invented
invented
wrestling.
women as the best women's champion. Stephanie
Obviously, the
McMahon
greatest women's champion in
of all
history.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind your fabulous moolahs. Never mind your God, I don't.
Rockin' Rebel.
Wow. Yeah,
That's all you got.
Do you know, I kept saying Aja Kong, but she obviously never won the WWF Women's Championship. Never mind your Trish Stratus's. They could all.
Bertha Faye.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Alundra Blaze.
Yeah. This,
Bull Nakano.
this
Luna
match.
Vachon.
This match was.
Let's name some more.
This match was tremendous for the short section between Alicia Fox and Naomi.
Oh, I really like Naomi, but I don't like Alicia Fox. And
Good hat though. It's a very good hat.
the hat was good. Explaining that once, but what's with the hat? She's the captain.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
but then,
captain
you know,
hat.
there was a slight thought of we have the pirate princess in NXT. We can't really have them having the same thing because apparently she wasn't allowed to do a finisher at first because Bailey does an elbow drop that's nowhere near as good.
God.
So we can't have 2 women doing anything similar.
Do they like Bailey yet? Okay, I've not been
No.
following, so she still hated.
Wasn't she?
like,
Was she the first one eliminated?
She's an up
She
and
was
down.
one of them.
Really.
Yeah, she was the first
I
one.
know.
It was-
Yeah, pretty.
No, she wasn't.
Becky Lynch
She was the-
was.
No, she was the
Yeah.
first one
Yeah,
eliminated
Becky
from
Lynch.
Team Raw though.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because she's the weak member of T-Raw.
Yeah,
Didn't you
yeah.
know? She's the weak member.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
a hugger,
to
not a
cross.
fighter. What do you
Exactly.
want?
Oh, no hogging, Bailey. I'm Stephanie McMahon. Look at my chin. Hello.
Does anyone else find it funny when
my
bigger
balls.
guys wear the shirt that says "I'm a hugger," but because they're bigger and they're slightly folded, it looks like it says another word?
Oh.
Oh, okay. Moving swiftly on. I'm going to put my headphones on because I imagine you probably have something that Daryl could have said about that. But
I
let's
don't
not.
actually. It's...
Yeah, probably for the best, for legal reasons. Yeah, this wasn't good.
It's a bit of a mess.
Asuka won at least, so we're taking solace from that.
But it's what's really funny. So Stacey, my partner, doesn't really watch wrestling too much, but she's aware that Asuka's on an undefeated run.
Yeah,
and so straight away match started. She's like, "Well, she's going to have to be the last person in and win it for them, isn't she?" Like,
got it
you
already.
don't even watch wrestling.
Yeah. She's already broken wrestling.
She's broken. Yeah,
I've remembered another big thing from this match: the epic fight they got out of Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka.
I love the way that just Tamina. Just Tamina.
Yeah.
No.
Tamina with the Superfly splash,
Yeah,
but still
they
not
still
Tamina
have the
Snuka.
Superfly collection on the network.
Oh yeah, they're not ashamed of it.
Vince
but they're
paid
just-
off allegedly that murder, so he'll happily promote him
I like
still.
that he said paid off and then said allegedly.
Yeah, yeah.
Allegedly.
The allegedly is in
So
there.
it's definitely the paid,
so
but not the
definitely-
murder.
But not the yeah. That was the.
What I didn't like about them two
Jimmy
fighting
Snuka said it himself.
is the lockup. They went into a lockup and it looked so pathetic. You want that they're two big girls, big monsters. I suppose they should have gone at it and they're locked up. And it
I
looked
didn't really
pathetic.
like
she's beautiful though as well.
Yeah,
Could you-
yeah.
could
She
you
could
not
be a
even
plus
take
size
some
model.
shot-
Silly me.
that we're all having our own podcast.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Could you not take any Schadenfreude in Alicia Fox and Naomi
Yeah.
just falling all over each
There
other?
was so many things that was just like okay, like Natalia
about-
coming in, which was obviously what was going to happen, but like they built up and to be decided who it's going to be, and actually it was just a case of
Just whack it on Twitter.
we literally don't know who we're going to put in this match.
Yeah, so just whack it on Twitter, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just put it
Yeah,
on Twitter.
don't worry about
The
it.
SmackDown
Well, not
side
John
are
Cena.
very good at announcing things
Just
on
whack
Twitter.
it on Shane McMahon's Twitter. Shane
Yeah,
McMahon, because
that's-
he's Shane McMahon.
I don't follow him if it weren't for the fact that he announces important shit on it.
You don't follow him if it wasn't for the fact that you'd find out about most title changes.
Yeah.
There. Don't worry about the network. Don't worry.
Here's a clip of when AJ Styles beat Kevin Owens for US title on Shane McMahon's feet. Like
Yeah, I think that's a real thing.
stuff like that.
Jesus.
Like that's the only reason to follow the guy. And I'm still alive after the helicopter thing.
I think
it's fine.
it's clear since that she got eliminated by count that Nia Jax is not like most girls. So just remember that.
Can you remember last year when they had a tap out to Becky Lynch?
Yeah, that's true. God,
They had
Becky
a
Lynch
randomly
got-
tap out, and yeah,
especially Becky Lynch got shoved down the pecking order, didn't she? I thought they were going to go with what you suggested last week with the Alicia Fox and Asuka thing. I think I
Yeah.
would have liked that better, just because Alicia Fox is great at playing crazy character. So
Yeah.
for her, almost as if she hadn't even got in the ring, that would have been. But
Yeah.
I get that they were doing the 2 against 1 thing. So.
and plus we got that moment where she forgot to kick out and then had to submit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the referee's telling her you don't have to tap out.
you
You're
don't
already
have to tap
eliminated.
out. It's already over. Go away.
Oh dear. She's always been a bit shit though, hasn't she, Alicia Fox? Like she seems nice enough.
Well,
and
actually, I
everything.
think you'll find that she was featured in Cameron from the Funkadactyl's favourite match against Melina. So, the best match ever.
Yeah, at least
Did
Alicia Fox
either of you?
is.
Sorry, did either of you get the chance? Do you remember the
I know
Tough
the
Enough
reference.
season?
I know the
The
reference.
Tough Enough season was Stone Cold.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I've mentioned tough enough a
Cameron
lot today.
Cameron from the Funkadactyls was the first. Yeah, Cameron from the
House.
Funkadactyls was we'll mention it
Yeah,
more as well.
yeah,
was the first one eliminated from the Stone Cold season of Tough Enough, which incidentally is by far and away the best season of Tough Enough because of Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And
Did not take no shit.
he says, right, why are you here? I don't think you're here to actually because you actually care about wrestling. What's your favorite match? And she goes, my favorite match was Melina against Alicia Fox. And Stone Cold literally looks at her and goes, who? The 2 active roster members at that point. He's like, I don't care. It's not Flair and he went, all the famous matches, Flair, Steamboat. That's your favorite match?
Wow.
It's like, I got into it really recently. And then she got eliminated and like that.
And then yeah,
Signed up anyway.
she was signed up before the season was over.
Yep. Signed up before the season was over and
Before it was even actually aired.
Silent Rage didn't do anything, did he?
Oh God, it was that season.
Silent
Yeah.
Rage.
They should have signed the other guy. The
That
other guy was better.
is silent. That is the type of wrestler who will turn up in Montgomery Hall in Waff, isn't it? Really, like, it's,
What with Casey Hansen and his real fake Australianism? He was a real Australian.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
He's doing all right, Casey.
Speaking of Casey Hansen, he had a weird belly, much like Baron Corbin. Boo, we're doing it. See?
does that say boring?
Boring Corbin, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It does, except he's forgotten the
I
I.
thought it said Doring, and I'm like,
It's-
Danny,
Doring.
Danny Doring was a Survivor
That's,
Series.
that is my poor handwriting that I mentioned before.
Did you see the fantastic angle before, which made Miz the face because his pregnant wife was in the crowd, and Baron Corbin was like, I'd have a bit of you. What do you mean?
I'd put the
No,
baby in you.
No, it's not a wig. No one would have a wig this shit.
The match just sort of happened, innit?
I'd wipe your old Playboy covers on you and you get pregnant.
I had two notes.
Whoa!
Phil, please,
Yeah.
Phil.
I got
Wow.
going back to I've got two notes on this match. The pregnant her in the crowd. I don't think they used her enough. I think they could have used her more and really pissed Miz off and gone that route and told
They're
that
very
story.
squeamish about that type of stuff.
Yeah, but
Like,
I just
they
think
don't want to have.
He got
any
angry,
chance.
and then nothing ever happened again. He wanted to wind him up. And the other thing is, I think Miz had to work overtime to make Corbin look good because he's shit.
He is shit.
I don't know why he's on the main roster.
Well,
I don't know why he's
my
there.
favorite thing about
Tall.
him,
Tall, yeah, that's
He's-
it.
his
Here's
hair,
all the reasons.
His hair is literally
Tall.
hanging on by a thread.
Yeah,
Like it just looks
That
so
doll's
ridiculous. Have you guys seen? I mentioned it on the show before. There's a plaque of him winning money in the bank on the WWE shop, and they photoshopped his hair in to make his hair a lot thicker and stuff. And it looks like someone's literally just got a black marker and drawn a line where his hair should be. It's
I
the
know
most
someone who
ridiculous
threw a
thing.
black marker in their hair. That's all.
Are we getting to more of my weird
That's all
family
I'm going to
history?
say. I don't need to. The people who need to know that need to know that. And
it
you
looked
two
like-
will find out later.
It looked like black marker. It was actually mascara.
Oh well, that's all right then. Phew.
Also,
Silly
why
me.
did Corbin go over? I don't
Because
understand.
Tall.
I know Miz is now doing his filming, so therefore
I think it
Tall.
hurts
He didn't
Baron
need to win,
Corbin
but-
more than the Miz because Miz literally just next night just went, yeah,
Yeah,
I
Tall.
lost that one, didn't I? Oops.
I don't understand. He's I don't know.
Tall.
He's not doing very well.
He's obsessed with wolves a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he likes
I don't
it.
like
The
it.
lone
You like
wolf.
that 3 Wolf t-shirt off of Amazon with all the reviews.
The best
3
reviews.
Wolf, yeah, the best t-shirt in the history of the world.
Yeah,
You
he
should
does.
buy it.
He's a bit like those like weird friends. Well, weird people on Facebook who you just knew them at school and they've got like a wolf as their display picture.
and they post inspirational memes and BMP stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You two may have a specific person in mind.
No, but
I do,
I
but
had to unfollow. I had to unfollow mine because I work with them.
Phenomenal. There we go. That's the whole point of a podcast, is to get personal revenge on people who will never hear
listen.
it. That's what it's all about.
On my personal revenge earlier, that guy should hear it.
Blend it. Oh yeah, well actually, there's
I'll get a message on Sunday like, what the fuck?
yeah.
I'll get 2 very excited messages and 1 very annoyed message, I think. Hi guys.
There you go. The next match, really good. I enjoyed the next match specifically. This was the tag team champions versus tag team champions match. Usos against the Bar.
See, I really like the Bar.
Yeah.
And the Usos are really great. I remember the promo now at the beginning of the match. I was saying to you earlier, I don't remember much from this match, but I'm starting to remember
Yeah.
stuff. The promo, it's really good until they have to do the thing where they say Usos Penitentiary.
Yeah.
And it's like the Bludgeon Brothers thing on SmackDown. It's a bit too cheesy when they have to
Like
talk at the same
shoehorned
time.
in there, isn't it?
1, 2, 3. Usos Penitentiary. Yeah, we said it together. We're twins, aren't we?
Can we
Like,
talk
yeah.
more about the Bludgeon Brothers in a bit?
Oh, definitely.
Well,
yeah.
we'll get onto the Bludgeon
We'll get
Brothers.
into that, don't worry.
Excellent.
Don't worry. There will be
Good.
bludgeoning.
Good match.
I think, yeah,
was
really
all right.
enjoyable.
Daryl will appreciate this callback. Graham, do you know which Uso's which?
Oh god.
This is a proper first episode callback.
Yeah. I'm not
Racist.
I'm not playing a game. I'm not playing a game. All right, stop it.
It's easier just to go when the commentator says Jay, you go, oh, that's Jay.
Yeah, well,
Jay's in,
they used-
I think.
They used to
Do you think the commentators ever get mixed up with it? when they're doing stuff?
One of them's a bit tubby.
I mean,
of them now.
JR used to get confused between Matt and Jeff Hardy. So, like, I think commentators will always get confused.
There's a very specific reason he's no longer commentating, and that could be part of
He
it.
got confused between Evil and Bushi on the New Japan show.
Yeah, one of them wears a mask.
One of them wears a mask.
That's a real thing.
Evil's a massive bloke with eyeshadow and
Brilliant.
purple hair,
Brilliant, man.
and fucking comes out with a staff dressed as the Grim Reaper. Bushi's there in a lucha mask.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, that's Evil there in the mask. Fucking hell.
Wow. And
Anyway.
he's a guy who claims he does all his homework as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the finish to this match was good. I like the over the top, the flying tag.
Yeah,
was
that was-
yeah, that was
good
good.
touch.
Really
I
enjoyable,
like
yeah.
that.
I really like. It must have been about this time last year, or maybe even longer ago now. It seems. It's surprising how long Cesaro and Sheamus have been a team,
Yeah.
and yet they're great. I remember.
But they finally found a way for us to fully accept Sheamus.
well,
Yeah.
I always thought they were going to be a decent team, but actually, I think they've gone even beyond
Yeah.
that, and I really like.
They've
them.
taken the ball
They've
and
got a
run
good
with it.
relationship, and it's entertaining. I think.
Yeah,
They've taken the ball, run with it, and Cesaro ripped it apart. And
exactly.
They're still doing
And then
well.
they do that little thumb thing. So, that's
Yeah.
all right. Although it does annoy me that they both have the same thumb patch on their jackets. One of them should have the left, one of them should have the right.
Yeah.
It's more weird that Sheamus has a Mighty Boosh patch on his jacket.
That's brilliant.
It's more annoying that he has a Liverpool patch on it.
yeah.
He's a genuine Liverpool fan as well.
I know.
But then, being Irish, you should be a Man United fan, surely.
I don't think it matters, so long as it's someone from the sort of northwest. Fine. Do you remember when they pretended Cesaro was a Rangers fan just so they didn't upset all the Celtic fans that Sheamus was a Celtic fan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Point is, they had to have somebody.
It was, I remember that video. It was weird that it didn't descend into them just beating each other up.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a great. It's almost like they didn't understand the nuances of it.
Yeah.
Also, Drew McIntyre's there and Noam Dar, so just use them. Maybe not equivalents to Sheamus, but there you go. Good match, I enjoyed it.
Well, just before you continue, there's the promo between Stephanie and Daniel Bryan happened before the
was painful.
Miz match. And I literally my note says, "My dad's bigger than your dad."
Yeah,
That's all it was, and it was so pathetic.
Do you think next August, just before his contract ends, they're going to be doing one of these promos, maybe at Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam, and Daniel Bryan's just going to go, "Fuck off, Steph," on live pay-per-view, and just walk out. He's like, I'm gone in a month. See you in Ring of Honor, everyone.
Rips off his clothes. He's got his wrestling gear on. Arms straight to wherever.
Steph's there, like going, "Well, Daniel, you're a B+ player." He's like, "Well, you're a fucking slut."
More than that, I think because he's quite a sort of hippie-centric type of guy. I think he's just going to drop trow and create compost right there. They're like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sack me? Oh no! What a shame!
He'll reveal on live TV that the McMahon family are all vampires. They're vampires. I've got proof. Don't think I'm weird.
He'll go to Dave Meltzer with it.
Were they trying to cover something for this promo? Because it went on for way too long.
It's because she's in charge of Raw and he's in charge of SmackDown, kind of.
But it was like I was expecting the ropes to be a different colour when they come back because it just went on for no reason.
Oh, we didn't mention this earlier. By the end of the women's match, well, not even by the end of it, halfway through the women's match, we reached the hour point of this pay-per-view because of all the promos and adverts, K-Jewelers, all that shit, all the WWE Network adverts, WWE Shop adverts, all that stuff.
So, I've never been to a TV show taping, but how awkward is it when the first wrestler comes down to the ring and then they do a promo? That's like 4 minutes long,
funny.
and they have to. What do they do in the ring?
No,
it's so bad.
The only one I've ever been to was the one in Sheffield with Daryl, and they didn't do any of that. Although they did have Drew McIntyre come and beat Finlay up 4 times. So that was a fun one. I guess it must just be incredibly awkward.
It's
I think
just so
sometimes, occasionally, they do a live pro. I remember. No, they did one thing with a commercial break at that one, but then they had a dark match featuring CM Punk on that show.
Yeah, they advertised the dark match.
And during what was the commercial break. So they come down and they're like, match is up next. And then they had him do a promo to the live crowd advertising the dark match. And then they had it come back. But of course, that's pre-recorded several hours in advance. So it's not really a... so I've added nothing there.
No, he just looks... from a TV point of view, and again, it's going into theatre. I always feel that the audience needs something. So that's a live audience. They need something to watch.
I know what they could do. They could have Heath Slater against Kurt Hawkins. That's a real thing that they did once when they had the Braun Strowman being run over by a truck thing.
Amazing.
If you remember, they had the two come down to the... We never saw the end of the match because we were too busy watching Roman Reigns get run over Braun Strowman in a truck of some kind.
Yeah, just on the Braun Strowman thing, I've got to mention this. I described how they tried to get Braun Strowman over as the biggest heel in the company to someone who doesn't watch wrestling. And they were like, wait a minute, they thought that would make people boo it. They had him tip over an ambulance and then they had him survive an ambulance crash and walk away from the scene. All this stuff is like, and they thought that would make him a bad guy. Yes.
That's cool. It's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's like, he lifted the fucking ambulance.
They put him against Reigns, who gets booed. Good plan.
Yeah,
smart. That
nailed it. Sorted it, lads. Alexa Bliss against Charlotte Flair was a match. Alexa, can I just address it now?
Massive height difference, isn't there?
Yeah. Alexa Bliss is not very good, right? I don't care if your character's fine, so that's something. But she's not very good. She's
not. And then I guess the thought was maybe Charlotte will carry her to a good match, but Charlotte couldn't quite do it.
No.
Where it's like, but Charlotte's not been in many featured...
How tall is Ronda Rousey?
I'm not sure.
I'm just thinking,
I think she's about 5'6", 5'7".
Could be a blueprint for that? She's not as small as 5'1", then, is she?
That's going to be fucking terrible, by the way. Like, Ronda Rousey is one of the worst actresses. Like, if you've seen any of her film roles or anything, she's shit. At acting.
Hi, I am Ronda Rousey. I am now going to have a fight with you. I am not keen on
I like
you.
an American president rather than Ronda Rousey. I don't know.
You know what we're going to
Can we
do?
get
We're
these
going
sound clip of him saying Daryl saying
make
shit
this such
again,
a great
please?
fight. I've been in the same room as him.
That was a good impression, that, mate.
Cheers. Splendid. There we go. Woo. Shall I play one?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's that over and done with then. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next?
That's about it.
Right. You know what's next because this is the best match of the whole show.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favourite matches.
We all knew who was going to win as well, because the way I see it is the way they build it. Oh, it's now even, so
Yeah.
the Raw has to win 2 more for them to win, and it's like, well, was it 5,
Yeah, at this
6 or
point,
whatever?
Raw was 1 down.
Yeah, and
That
it's-
fucking scorecard that kept coming up.
Yeah.
It further does the thing more. It's like,
In-
I don't care about this Raw versus SmackDown bullshit.
I'm going to
Stop
throw
it.
out a controversial opinion. I didn't mind it, and here's why. Often they just talk about it, but they never really make any formal. If this is supposed to be Raw against SmackDown, and that's the formal idea, who's the better one? I'm okay with them doing that.
bragging rights.
Plus, yeah, it is.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. No one else does because they had that. Remember when they won that trophy, and then no one ever saw the trophy again.
It was
It's
like
somewhere-
the,
Anyway,
it
back
was
to
like the
business.
UK Interpromotional Cup or whatever.
Oh yeah,
it's
the
called.
UK Cup. Yeah, the UK Cup, the IPW UK, I think still holds. Never material. We went to see Darren.
I think they
Forrest
lost it to
try and win that.
PCW like a year ago.
Oh, probably.
Like genuinely, I think earlier on this year they did do that
Is
with
that
PCW.
PCW the company or PCW the Instagram account that's a personal account?
Yeah.
The company.
Okay, cool.
Shh, careful! Don't talk about them. They're on telly soon. Oh no, wait, they're not. Oh, what a shame! Isn't it a shame when people don't deliver what you was expecting? PCW. Let's talk about the champion versus champion match: Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles.
Right, weren't it?
What were you
Yeah,
going
it
to
was.
say then?
I was going to say AJ fucking Styles,
right.
but you know what? I am going to say
Say
AJ
it.
fucking Styles.
Yeah, it was good.
There you go. This was great. Because I was terrified when AJ won the belt. I was like, "Yay! Oh, he's going to
gonna
get turned
die.
into a hamburger."
But I like that they like started it like that, and you're like, oh fucking hell, he's gonna get battered, and then no, turned it around, didn't he?
So am I right in thinking I've heard this somewhere? But is this match because Brock didn't want to work with Jinder Mahal? Jinder Mahal.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it, 'cause,
Mahal.
like
honestly.
you can tell, like when Brock wants to work
Mahal
with someone,
is
he has really
short.
great matches,
Yeah.
and like the one, like he's had 2 kind of disappointing matches this year with Joe and Braun because the direction of those matches were a bit different from this one. They weren't given a ton of time. It was like,
Yeah.
we need a short match. You need one
The
F5.
Joe one was too short, and the Brock one was the Braun was too long.
Yeah.
Ironically,
Whereas this one, it's like you're in there with a guy who can really work. He's worked this style of match before, and you can have some fun with it. And Brock fucking sold for it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow. Apparently, he sold all the way to the back as well.
Yeah.
people were worried he's hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
I
Brock-
genuinely thought he would. Yeah,
Even
No,
when
he's-
Goldberg ran through him last year, he didn't sell that much.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Like he really,
That's fun, though.
that's
yeah.
fine.
It
Let's
proves
just take a second. In fact, let's take 1 minute and 26 seconds to remember back to when Goldberg and Brock had a match.
Yeah.
Splendid.
And it
No,
turned
this
out
is
to be the
great.
best thing.
Yeah, it just proved that AJ can you just throw him in with anyone and he can
do no
just
wrong.
go.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I said that I text you again, Dan, and said that I'm really sad he's going to lose the belt.
I know.
I'm so sad
They're
about it.
so close to going back to India. Well, not
Yeah.
going back to India. I don't know if they've been before, but well, they might have been at some point. But anyway, they're so close to that Indian tour.
Yeah,
You know what the main event?
where Triple H is going to
I
win
say-
the belt.
Oh yeah, sorry. I say tour. It's not a tour. Did we address this on the show? I think we
I don't-
did.
Is it
Yeah,
just a
if
If
one
we didn't,
show?
then we should. Used to be 2 shows. Now it's 1.
Wow.
Brilliant.
And with TNA level PR, it's like we felt that we could deliver a better experience by reducing the number of shows.
Wow.
Wow.
Well done. Funny
That's-
that, isn't it? Canadian Jinder Mahal not selling out arenas in India just because he's the colour that they think he should be. Who knew?
Yeah.
But it's
Having
Oh,
speak a
wait.
language that only 1/4 of the country speak
Yeah.
and all that.
It's almost like India's a huge country with several different nuances and cultures. Who knew? I think they may have just looked at it and gone, they all look the same to us. That's what I think happened.
they watched the Top Gear special, and that was
Oh, got it. Exactly, yeah. They were like, wow, these guys seem to know a lot about India.
it. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
cricket
this
and
match-
John Cena.
Yeah, we should get back to the match. It was a good match.
Yeah, we should talk more about this match. This match
Yeah.
is bloody great. I like that they all too often you think they're going to build in the idea of, oh, well, one guy's faster, so they're going to use that against... And all too often that gets disregarded for the sake of just doing moves.
Yeah.
But they really built it in here.
Yeah,
It was really good.
It's just typical big man, small man story of get him down to the ground as quick as you can.
Yep.
Cut him off at his legs and keep going. And like you say, Brock sold for him. It was a good story throughout. He caught him so many times. It was really good to see. I know he lost his balance at one point, or at least it looked like he lost his balance. But it's interesting because Brock just throws everyone about, and it's really annoying sometimes. I'm sorry, Daryl, I know you're a big fan, but Brock actually worked for him.
Yeah.
You
Really
could tell
did,
he
yeah.
wanted to be in this match. He enjoyed it. You could tell he was having fun. He enjoyed it.
Felt a big match as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Felt like
definitely.
a big deal. They put a champion versus champion match on that. Actually felt like a big deal.
Yeah.
And then it all came crashing down. Well, maybe it's not fair to say that, because it didn't all come crashing down straight away. The men's Survivor Series match was the decider. Shock horror. Funny that, innit? It ended up being even. This wasn't just like a consolation prize. But this was the 5-on-5, so let me think. I'm going to try and do them from memory rather than reading them. So this is a Raw team of Kurt Angle, Triple H, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor
Well done.
versus Shane McMahon, John Cena, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Randy Orton. Yes, there you go. Would be easy to forget some of these people. You have
Yeah.
something, yeah.
I've got the finger hovering.
Good.
Can I get a Wrestler Fashions?
Wrestler fashions. There you
Kurt
go.
Angle's weird little gloves.
Oh, Kurt Angle's- Do you think that if he wears weird stuff on the rest of his body, it'll detract from the fact that his neck looks like
I pointed
The
out.
fact that it's because he's got tiny arms. We've talked about this before. His arms have shrunk due to
I-
entropy
He
from
does,
necking.
he does
I
stand like a
pointed-
chimpanzee now.
I pointed that out to Stacey, and she was just like, "What the fuck? What? How is that even possible?" And then when I explained why, she's like, "Why is he allowed in the ring?"
Yeah, and then Daniel Bryan
Why is
sat
Daniel
there.
Bryan crying? I don't understand. He's over there crying.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
So,
Triple H Kurt Angle's going to be a bad
Oh,
match at Mania.
Can,
isn't
can I
it?
get another Wrestler Fashions?
right, yeah. Wrestler fashions.
Did someone not tell John Cena the colour code?
Well, let's get on that color code right now, because like John Cena, first of all, wearing green, just does what he wants. New green T-shirt, that's what I sell.
They did really well at bringing him back like that.
It's a
as
free
well.
agent.
We'll talk about it in a
It's
second.
free agent colour green.
Yeah.
Do you not know that?
That is the rule.
Velocity and free
Now
agent.
we're talking about the
is green.
T-shirts. I told you I hate the T-shirts. I hate the red. I hate the blue. But you know, fair play to them. Some of them kept in their colours. Some of them wore the Raw. You know, but if you're part of the Raw team, you wear the Raw colours. I get that. Triple H, however, red T-shirt, his own T-shirt design, because that's how you get dual merchandise money. He knows how to play the game, and by the game, I mean the financial game and the actual game.
Does anyone?
It's all about the game and how you play it.
It is.
Does anyone like still buy Triple H T-shirt?
Stephanie? His
obviously.
daughters?
People who have got
that weird
bored of
woman
the
who sang
Baron
around
Corbin
hotels for him
t-shirt.
back in the 90s. When he'd walk in with China and she's like, oh, damn it.
Whoa, hello. What?
Oh God! Don't mention. No, I thought we had a bottle. Oh, Shane McMahon also had. Sorry, Shane McMahon.
But it
also had his little blue T-shirt,
Yes.
Team Blue, as it said on the back.
It said Shane O'Mac, and
Yep.
I sort of, for some reason, wanted to say Shane O Smackdown. And I don't know why.
Shane O'Smackdown.
Yeah. Don't know why. It just came to my head. I was like, that works for me. I'd buy that.
It was nice to see Shane make it to the end of the match without some horrific injury or something fucking stupid.
When he went up
Was
to
it
the
nice to
turnbuckle.
see him make it to the end of the match?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No. Well, let's focus on the good parts, right? Because there are good
the
parts.
end
First 10
bell
minutes.
was a good one.
Yep. All of Nakamura's bits were good until the end. Nakamura
The
bit.
fucking pop when him and Finn Balor got in the ring
Yeah.
together.
I know, right?
I didn't even expect
Does
that.
that not
until
show
it happened.
Vince that should happen?
I think.
Well,
I imagine
Finn
Vince
Balor's
was
not
like,
over enough.
What the hell is going on here? Stop it.
Someone's piping music in. Someone's piping.
None of you are
noises.
tall enough. Why are you?
Yeah, they're
Do
probably
you think
really mad.
At first he was like, "Oh, this is good," and then they started chatting New Japan, and his blood just boiled over,
Yeah.
and he had to drink.
Get him
some,
out
he,
of
had
there.
to, he had to have a snack on Michael Hayes to
Vince-
keep going for the rest of the night.
Vince doesn't know what New Japan is. Don't be
Yeah.
ridiculous.
How long's there been in New Japan?
Yeah, he's like,
There's a New
like
Japan now?
is that
I
like
thought it
North
was-
Korea?
I thought it was all the same
We'll
Japan.
tour there after India. It's fine.
Oh, who is it who tells that story about Vince? I can't remember who it was. He was on the
Shelton
plane.
Benjamin.
No, not the Shelton Benjamin one. But they were on a plane
Michael
like
Tarver.
after a European tour, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to watch." And he put like Richard Pryor on,
Oh,
and Vince
yes.
is going, "What what's this you're watching? Oh, it's Richard Pryor. He's like, well, why don't you watch like WrestleMania? Well, I just fancy watching some comedy. Well, we have lots of comedy. We have Santino.
Yeah.
Like, he genuinely is so far in
Who
the
he
bubble.
fired.
Wasn't Brian Gertz? Was it Brian Gertz?
I'm
Or
not sure.
I think it was a writer. It might be wrong.
So
I feel like it was a
does that
writer.
explain like some of the cartoons that are on the network where it's like
Oh,
Vince
like
is like
WWE.
we don't have
What
any
happened
of,
to the
we
rest of
don't
that
have any
show,
animated stuff.
What happened to the issue of the Royal Rumble that was going to review Camp WWE? I'll tell you what happened. Daryl and I were going to do it strictly the rib on Dan, and it was so bad that we didn't do it.
Yep.
And it takes a lot to stop us from ribbing Dan,
that's-
but if it's bad enough, let's not.
Yeah, thanks for suggesting that several times.
Bobby Roode and Triple H was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bobby
Yeah.
Roode is like,
yeah.
I mean, he was TNA's Triple H.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
no,
worked.
it's a good-
That was fine. Little showdown.
You know
They made absolutely nothing of Samoa Joe and John Cena showing down there. That was a bit
Yeah.
annoying.
What was the point of John Cena in this match?
Yeah, that was what I was going to say earlier. Like, they dragged John Cena back early and
Yeah,
stuff.
why?
And then they were just like, yeah, we're just going to, you're going to be in it for like 10 minutes.
To keep
I think
Jinder Mahal
Shane
off the
accidentally
card.
sent the
Jinder
tweet out, and then they went, "Oh, we're gonna have to use him now." That's it. And then
Yeah,
That's
keep
where it
Jinder
led.
Mahal off the card because Jinder Mahal would probably have been in this match.
Yeah.
Shane got another concussion from his MMA training.
yeah.
Shane McMahon, the hardest man in the world. Let's not forget Shane McMahon, the hardest.
What
man
did
in
you
the
all
world.
think when after Braun had gone through the table and he stood up on the turnbuckle? What was going through his head? Why would that have been a good thing? He's already gone through the table.
For the Bants?
So you can fuck up your hips like Mick
Lads,
Foley
lads.
does.
Shane McBants.
Yeah,
Oh.
just ridiculous.
So yeah, like it was really good until they decided, everyone's really excited for all these brand new matchups. Let's give them what they really want, though: nostalgia.
Get rid of all the new guys. Get them up
Kurt
on out
Angle,
of here.
Kurt
with my
Angle with
eye hole.
tiny arms, Triple H, and you never know what he's going to do, and Shane. Yeah, it
Good
was.
times.
It was a depressing end to this match.
Yeah,
It was-
So,
it was-
also, this match should have ended a lot earlier than it did,
Yeah.
because technically they should have been DQ'd for putting Braun through the table.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because DQs were active, all three of them should have been eliminated. Because also the two people who interfered on their behalf, who'd already been eliminated from the match,
Yeah.
Nakamura and Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
So they should have all been DQ'd, and we wouldn't have had to go through all that.
Imagine if that was the end of the Survivor Series.
all the-
They've
Dude,
had
yay!
worse endings to pay-per-views this year.
I thought he was going to say they've had worse endings to Survivor Series, which I can think of at least one confusing ending.
I've heard about this a lot this month.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Danny, what were you going to say? You were going to say about this match?
No, I was going to go to the ending after the match and the Braun and Triple H thing and Triple H's eyes popping out of his
Oh
head
my god.
Yeah.
with the choke, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude,
This
this
whole-
is mental.
You need to sell really how long Braun Strowman. So the finish was left to, was it Shane versus
So
Kurt
don't forget,
Angle
it was Shane, the hardest man in
Yeah.
the world, against three people.
against Kurt Angle, Triple
Braun
H,
Strowman
and
and
Braun
Triple H,
Strowman. So Kurt Angle puts him in the ankle lock, and he's in it for about 15 minutes, not tapping out.
Kurt's not learned that one, has he?
Yeah.
He's still doing that, putting
So-
everyone the ankle.
Triple H
Wait.
pops up and gives Kurt Angle a pedigree and puts Shane on top of him,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "What?" And then he picks Braun, and then Braun just stares. Braun's there like, "What?"
I hated
then-
how long that
yeah.
was. I hated
Can I-
how long.
So Braun Strowman stared at him for another 15 minutes, and then Triple H helped Shane up, and Shane's looking all glassy-eyed like he always does because he's had multiple fucking concussions. And then he pedigreed Shane as well, and then pinned him because Triple H wanted to win match, and Braun stared at him for another
Like,
15 minutes.
if you're gonna do that, like I would much rather it. He does that, knocks down Kurt Angle, puts Shane on him, picks Shane straight up, pedigree, finish that. Like
It's to make you think
I
the
hated
screw was
like
in.
Michael Cole and that going. What is this about? And it's like, well, it's quite clear that that they had that set like 2
know
minutes
what's gonna-
ago where they were arguing about who tagged who. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why they're doing this. I know WWE likes us to forget things, but that was 2 minutes ago.
You're all idiots. You're all idiots because none of you are seeing now that Triple H is now the biggest face and heel. Take that,
Yeah.
everybody.
So then Braun Strowman stared at him for another 15 minutes, and then eventually he grabbed him by the neck and choked half the life out of him, saying, "If you ever pull this shit on me," he didn't say these exact words, but
Should have said shit.
yeah, "If you ever pull this shit on me, I will end you."
Yeah.
Triple H is there like,
Strowman.
yeah,
he
Braun.
went full
So,
Malcolm Tucker on it.
so normally, literally every format until this week has had Braun written across it the last few weeks, because Braun Strowman is the best thing on the main roster. And yeah, so Braun does that, and then Triple H does a Triple H and tries to pedigree him, and Braun just like, Did you not hear that bit earlier when I said that if you tried that shit, I'd
I
end
wasn't
you?
winding you up, mate.
No. And then he ended him, and it was
That was
kind of that. It almost saved what was a very confusing half an hour of Braun Strowman staring at him.
Yeah.
I could have done without this match.
Yeah.
Well, I could
this
put the
match-
War
Well,
Games match
at the
here.
beginning, you were texting me through this as well, and
Yeah.
at the beginning of the match, you were
I
texting me
enjoyed it.
all excited about everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't text you back, so I was like, I don't want to
wait
spoil
for it
what's
to go
coming.
downhill.
Yeah, I was like, because at the end of this match, you're going to hate yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's because WWE always does this.
I was excited about this match, and then it was not very quickly. It was like a falling off a cliff. Or like being power slammed by Braun Strowman, actually, funnily enough. Which was,
Off a cliff.
yeah,
Mm.
not his fault. He was all right.
Yeah.
If
I don't even necessarily mind that's how it ended, because genuinely I don't know what else they could have done.
They didn't use Jason Jordan or
No, and the whole Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah, we
thing
didn't
was a
mention
bit
that.
weird. I had a whole theory on how it should have ended that
Yeah.
I was going through last
yes,
Sunday. with
the indie takeover.
the indie invasion, I'll have you know. But that was fantasy booking.
Well,
Yeah.
the Bullet Club were too busy helping Cody put Christopher Daniels, 40-odd-year-old Christopher Daniels, through a flaming table. What is Chris? Like, fair play to the guy if he's willing to do that shit
the
now.
Bullet
Like,
Club are so cool.
I got to see them in 2 weeks.
Oh, good.
I get to
Tell
see,
them I said hello.
I get to see Cody in person again.
Tell Kenny Omega that I'm selling a DVD of his from 2008 on eBay if you want to see his debut in Ring of Honor.
No Kenny Omega.
Oh. Well, what's
Yeah,
the
no.
point then? That's not the Bullet Club. That's Cody Rhodes and his mates.
But they're doing the first women's match at York Hall, which
that's Legacy. Legacy. That's what
the
it
first
is.
women's match, which is definitely going to be Brandy Rhodes answering the Open Challenge. So I get to see Brandy Rhodes, but I get to see Brandy Rhodes wrestle. Yeah. I don't mean to be
noise.
I don't mean to be sexist on that one, but she's not a very good wrestler. She's a very good looking person, not a very good wrestler.
So what
Anyway.
was the thought? Right. So first of all, did we enjoy the show, Chris?
Yeah, I mean it was all right. It wasn't Takeover, but
No.
but then these shows never are they?
Danny?
It was too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good show. It was a good match on there, but everything was too long. Yeah. So
They could have cut a match out and all the adverts, and it'd have been a decent pay per view, I think.
Yeah. I think it was okay. I think like
And then the ending was
length
flat.
didn't help it, and they do have a bit of a habit of this occasionally. They go back to what they think works, and what they think works is unfortunately this worked in 2000. So
going
not
on,
this
going on with all
exact
the
feud?
promos and the length of it. If we're sat here as wrestling fans saying that we're struggling to watch it and it's been a pain to watch it all, how much custom are they losing with like casual fans who go, "Oh, I can't be asked to watch it anymore."
I don't know how many
So
casual fans they
annoying.
really
See-
have left.
Yeah, well, yeah. fair.
I always make the comparison when WWE has a really long show to the New Japan Tokyo Dome shows.
Mhm.
They can last like 6 hours.
He always does.
But
I've heard.
it doesn't feel like 6 hours.
You're entertained.
Yeah, because you're
You're
entertained.
entertained for the full 6 hours.
And they build the show up with prelim matches, and then it's all the big matches are at the end.
Yeah.
So at the early
They build
matches,
it-
you can
to be
like,
fair, they build the show with feeling matches that you explicitly encourage people to skip.
yeah,
Much like this one, but
If
it's all about the way.
If
works
this
into it,
show
isn't
had, if the men's Survivor Series match hadn't been the last one and AJ Brock had, I think I'd feel a bit different about it.
Yeah, I think you're right,
True.
Yeah, and they could easily have done that because that would have meant that it was 3-all, and then Raw could have won with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have worked fine.
Yeah,
Actually, I agree. Swap those matches around. Great pay per view.
yeah. So someone needs to do some editing for Survivor Series pay-per-view.
Oh, could you imagine if they? I don't mind you. They don't really sell DVDs in the same way. Can you imagine if they did that? That'd be brilliant. Let's head up what happened on Raw and SmackDown this week, just
Yeah.
to sort of cover that.
So, well, there was a massive return on Fear.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
There was a massive return on Raw this week. So, to do with the women, they were having a match with Mickie James, Alicia Fox, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. And was it to decide a new women's #1 contender?
I don't remember. I just know it was a match.
Well, yeah, but the thing we all remember from it is the return of Paige.
Yes, Paige is back.
And she wasn't alone.
No.
And she brought up Mandy Rose from Tough Enough.
Yeah.
And
More Tough Enough.
Sonya Deville, who was also on that season of Tough Enough. But
Oh, was she?
she was eliminated really early.
'Cause she
so
wasn't very
people don't remember her.
No, I
But
don't.
yeah.
there you go.
I heard that Vince wanted Paige to have 2 others with her because he thinks that she's at her best when she's part of a threesome.
There we go.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good night.
This is the risk. Like, I want this podcast to grow, but I don't want it to grow enough that any of the knights hear it. That's it. That's it.
We don't do this when we talk about Stoke.
No. Did you miss this part? There was the dribble.
Yeah.
God, are you even covering what you're looking at?
Charlie Adam doesn't get involved in
Are you
it.
even covering the
surprisingly.
Premier League? God,
I mean,
almighty.
Jeff Cameron makes a few dodgy comments, doesn't
fucking
he?
hell, Jeff Cameron.
But anyway, SmackDown had a completely revolutionary idea the next night where they debuted a goth-looking pale girl, a blonde girl, and then a tough-looking girl with braids in her hair.
And
Also,
what did they do with them? Did they all have separate
they
identities?
attacked everyone.
Oh.
So that was Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and what's the girl's name? Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's ace that there's lots of women wrestlers. They don't all have to be in the same match.
Yeah.
Surely. Like,
Well, I don't understand what you mean.
that's not a women's revolution if you're like, oh yeah, we're going to more women, more wrestling, but we'll still just have the one match, yeah? I mean, there was 2 matches at Survivor
Two whole
Series,
matches,
so
But that's because it was 2
whole-
different shows.
Exactly. Like, bloody hell.
Yeah, we've got to fit them all in. I'm glad Ruby Riott's been called up because I think she's brilliant. Like, she's really, really good. And then Sarah Logan, she used to be Crazy Mary Dobson, and she was a bit on the indies. She's improved a hell of a lot in NXT. Liv Morgan's really good at what she does, and it's quite funny to see her flirting with Tyler Bate on Twitter when Enzo gets annoyed at it.
This might be a different question for a different podcast. But how
If it's about Stoke, I can recommend the podcast for listeners.
you might want to discuss it further.
So
But
can I.
how
Barefoot
far away
TV.
are we from a full women's show?
That's a good question.
So you've got your cruiserweight show that no one watches, but could they sell a women's show? Are they at that level?
I always thought it'd be a really good idea, and I guess the problem is that you would have to find some sort of forward-thinking network executive to even commission it. But like, they could easily market their women's division to like younger girls.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And younger boys.
Well,
Yeah, of course.
they've got
but, like,
Total Divas and
I
the
mean-
Mattel dolls for that.
then that's definitely not the same thing, and you know it.
Yeah, but that's
I
what
mean-
that's genuinely how they think.
That's
I
how
know
it is.
exactly. Yeah, but my point is like, give them sort of real life heroes to.
What you're
Look
saying
up to.
there is, they need a forward-thinking network. They also need
Yeah.
a forward-thinking backstage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's so much in the way, and I
There is-
include Vince's
there is-
actual daughter in that.
Yeah, definitely. But there's so like you
I'm the only one
said,
who
there's
wants to
so
see.
much talent there, and they haven't got the platform. Even despite the women's revolution, they still haven't got the same platform that the guys have. And I just think they need one.
And I can't say too much on this, but you get ready for an actual kind of scoop thing.
Okay.
So they've brought
a
up all
nice
these
big
women
scoop.
from NXT, which leaves a lot of empty spots in NXT,
Wow, okay.
which I would imagine would be filled by people coming to NXT rather soon.
Nice.
Oh. They are Royal Rumble exclusive.
Exclusive. When some wrestlers go, others come in.
Clearing
Fake
space,
promises.
firing
Royal
people
Rumble
and moving
transfer
people
window
around.
Special.
Yep. You got to
Rumble sources.
It's like you're a clairvoyant and you just said something like really abstract
Yeah.
and we fill in
It's
the gaps.
because like I know one name for sure, but I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
say it.
Grumble sources. Kaylee Ray spotted at Performance Center. Other women also spotted at Performance Center. Wrestlers signed for wrestling company.
I'll just make it clear
Stay
that's not the
tuned.
name. I know. Just be very clear on that one.
Jim White is sitting backstage going, "What the fuck?" Roman Reigns is the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Well, that's because Marine 6 has got to go and be filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually why.
It's a good job to
Remember
be
when
fair.
he
That's
won
going to
the
be a
US
cracking
title?
film.
Yeah. So remember when they won the US title around this time last year or something, or recently?
So
I like it on the WWE website. They managed to put over Roman Reigns as usual, but also diminish what he just done. So on the thing on the website was Roman Reigns becomes a Grand Slam champion. He defeated another Grand Slam champion, The Miz. Okay, yeah, you've kind of fucked that one up for yourself, haven't
Don't
you?
rag
Well
on
done.
the Miz. The Miz is all.
The Miz is
right.
great,
The
but
Miz.
if you're trying to put over like Roman Reigns is a Grand Slam champion now,
How long's
and
he
it's
keeping the belt for?
Not a
the-
great deal. Of
it'll be
time.
like when Dean Ambrose was US champion. They'll probably forget, and then they'll just have to strip him of it or do a random match where he gets beaten through interference.
They're doing a weird thing on SmackDown where Daniel Bryan's implied to possibly be maybe thinking about possibly hypothetically sort of a little bit maybe all right with a little bit of the thought of possibly being involved with slightly being remotely related to the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn type team maybe.
In the invasion! In the
It's happening.
invasion!
Chris called it.
Fucking
Basically,
yes, mate.
you're the booker. in a way.
I wish I was.
Oh, I wish you were, just because that would mean we would have to see less of Dolph Ziggler.
Then you get fired for having a photo with Jimmy Jacobs outside the building.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a photo with Jimmy Jacobs as well.
You could use exactly
Post it
that.
on Instagram, you're fucked.
Jinder got his title match. We've established that already, haven't we?
Yep, he's got to go.
Clash of Champions is SmackDown this
His
year.
hand luggage to India is getting a bit heavier.
Oh, dear.
You always carry on the belt. It's the rule. The belt's carry on luggage.
Yeah.
In case your baggage goes
Yeah,
missing.
it's like when RVD used to use the money in the bank as the carry-on luggage, which I thought was brilliant. They've given you a bag, why not? Just use it. Get on it.
I didn't know that.
Who was it?
That's brilliant.
I think it was Big Show when he was in WCW. Someone told him that, oh yeah, you wear the belt to the airport.
Yeah, they ribbed him. He'd only been like his first match was winning the title from Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
His first ever wrestling match, he won the WCW title from Hulk Hogan. And they ribbed him saying, yeah, you wear the title belt to the airport. So he walked in all proud and shit, and everyone's just there like, haha.
Yeah.
It's like that guy who on the Shit Ass 50 who used to wear his belt to Asda and send them out wrestling magazines.
No,
Like,
he used to make one, yeah. He used to wear his gear, he used to wear the spandex and stand reading Power Slam going, oh, lots of wrestlers in here.
with his High Spots World Championship.
Oh my god.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he was in the Shit Ass 50.
Dolph Ziggler was in
That's the thing. There was no Dolph Ziggler on this pay-per-view.
No, but I tell you what there was on SmackDown, because Chris wants to talk about it. We should address what he wants. We should deal with it. It's the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
They carry hammers and they don't use them.
Yes.
I'll say one thing about darkness.
I've got hammers.
I'll talk about hammers.
They're walking in and killing everyone.
Rowan, Harper, Bludgeon
They're walking down the tunnel and killing everybody with hammers. There's a reference. There are crackers.
So it's two.
Yeah.
There's a show I listen to, Brian and Vinny's Retro Tuesdays, and they talk about how there's stuff between like now and 19 years ago, and stuff weirdly matches up. So on the front cover of WWE magazine 19 years ago this week is Kane and the Undertaker
with sledgehammers.
Yes.
The original Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
Killing everybody
And then-
with hammers.
Harper and Rowan show up.
With hammers.
Eerie promo in the woods. Yes, this is a weird promo in the woods. Harper, Rowan, Bludgeon Brothers.
I fucking love
With hammers.
The thing is, I absolutely love Luke Harper. He's got those crazy eyes thing that again, like
I missed that
yeah.
entrance video. When they switched that to so it just said Luke Harper, I was so pissed off because that was one of the best entrance videos, and his music's awesome too.
Oh, yeah, with the scary eyes. Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
that.
the scary eyes and then the weird like country scary like metal music. It were great. I loved everything about Luke Harper.
now they're bosses from a 1990s PlayStation game. You have to
Undead
do-
2,
Yeah.
the undeadening.
Yeah, they're like the second boss though in the game.
Like from
oh,
Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Yeah, now you must go on to beat the Bludgeon
I was thinking like Streets of Rage 3. Like something on there, just the two massive guys show up with hammers.
Oh man,
They're never gonna like.
what's gonna happen?
Do you think like Triple H just sat backstage going, by the way, you can't actually use those hammers because it's kind of my gimmick?
Triple H has definitely sat backstage doing that.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I like West Ham and everything. You can't use a hammer.
Oh my god, it's fucking hell.
It makes me think of the Limmy's show when it has the guy popping up going, building bricks, and smashes the people's head.
Yeah,
It's got as many weird references as we can.
Where do we go from here?
Where
Not
do
us
we-
personally, where does things go from
Just
here?
about anywhere.
Well,
I had to
Jinder's
get
got the
one in.
title back.
Jinder-
Roman Reigns will lose the Intercontinental soon.
no, Roman's gonna keep it till Mania, and it's gonna be like
The Ultimate Challenge 2.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes!
High five.
High-fived on the air. I'd high-five you, but you're too far away, Danny.
No.
And I don't want to.
And you'll knock over the mic.
Yeah.
That's my concern.
Oh, right.
Well, we've got to build up to Rumble now, haven't we?
Yeah, so the planned main event was Finn Balor versus Brock, which they've been building slyly in promos for months, but apparently that might not be happening now because Vince decided Finn isn't over enough. I wonder why that is, feuding with Bray Wyatt
Mad if
and then
you get-
Sister Abigail.
You get choke slammed by
So-
Kane 3 times in one match, and suddenly you're not over. I don't know.
It's like, he did the Homer Simpson thing. It's okay, we can rehab him. It's okay, we can rehab. No, it's gone.
I know.
They've literally done that to Finn Balor.
Basically, Finn's a pig being shot out of a dam.
Yep.
There we go.
It's okay. Have you watched the Kevin Owens 365?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, it's very good, but also Finn Balor is in it as Kevin Owens' mate. That's pretty much his role in it. Is like,
strange. Okay.
yeah, it's like they talk about how great friends they are, and so it's really, really good. You should watch it.
A great bunch of lads.
Great bunch of lads.
There we go.
So that's where we go from here.
That's where we go from here.
Just about
where
anywhere.
you two go.
I have
from
to
here
say
is
that
away.
every time. I have to make that reference every single time, and probably only you understand it in this room, and out of all our listenership will understand that reference.
Fine.
That's all. Right.
That's all I want.
Audience of one. That's who we have.
That's what we've done this entire time. We're like nearly 100 episodes. Wait a minute, no. Yeah.
100 episodes.
Yeah, nearly.
two
We're
years.
nearly there. Yeah.
Exactly.
2 years old.
Which means we've got nearly 200 listens at this point, which is great. So thanks, guys. I appreciate both of you.
It'll be around early March when the 200th episode comes out. Not including specials and.
Yeah, it'll be 2
fan
weeks
ones
before
and Daryl
Are you
WrestleMania.
going to
Solo.
do a Royal Grumble, This Is Your Life special?
What did we do for the 50th? We did summer.
We did something.
Yeah,
It was so good that it was 2 weeks before WrestleMania, so I think we just did something random.
Mate, you got 2 of your listeners like on air with you now, and we don't even know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it can't have been that memorable.
you know.
Was it a quiz? Did you do a quiz? You seem to do
No,
quizzes.
Daryl says that we should actually listen to old episodes again because he's been listening to a lot to get his quiz answers together.
Right, sure.
So expect what happened on the 50th
God.
episode is one of the questions on there.
Do you guys actually listen to it then? You guys.
I have to.
I do.
edit
I
it.
know Daryl doesn't, and
So you're
Dan
forced
has
to listen to it, Dan. is what you're saying.
I do an edit, but I tend to take notes if there's anything I need to cut.
Yeah.
And otherwise,
Which
it's
is
just
Daryl.
like it's,
Yeah.
it's having it on with my headphones around my neck, and then if I hear anything major, I can
Yeah.
quickly edit.
So
I say it is a good show. I do enjoy it.
I don't have to. I don't have to edit as much. We don't and R as much as we used to.
no, not too often. Couldn't help it.
This guy.
I think that's it then. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Ah, well,
About
that's
time.
it for another episode of the Royal Grumble. Well, I want to say thank you to our esteemed guests. First of all, Danny. Danny, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Glover Daniel.
At Glover Dan. Did someone else take the other one?
No. I have got my own Instagram hashtag, which is the Danny Glover.
Splendid.
The actual Danny Glover doesn't have his own Instagram.
Does he have a Twitter?
Uh,
Is he Danny Glover?
No, I took it. I've got the blue tick and everything.
Did you know that Danny Glover was part of a group of black actors and celebrities who went over to Africa to encourage people to vote in their first democratic elections?
Yeah, and when I come back,
Seriously?
it didn't make a difference.
That's
yeah.
a real thing. Enjoy Zimbabwe, mate.
Yeah.
They make you eat charcoal.
Yeah. No,
That's a really weird reference.
That's like just a story between you and me. Like, that's incredible.
I told you, Chris, this is the whole point. It's an audience of one.
Chris
I don't know
did
how
charity
you do
work.
things on the Wizards of
How
Dribble,
you
but here, audience of one.
That's fine.
Chris
And
did
the one
charity
is
work in
always
Africa.
me. And I mean the concept of me. Not me personally,
Yeah.
the concept
That's
of
fine.
me.
Yeah.
Chris, where can people find you?
Fuck knows.
Everywhere.
Wizards of
At-
Drivel,
at
maybe?
Wizards of Drivel would be a
Yes,
good
at
one.
Wizards of Drivel,
Our friends
if
there.
you care about football and Stoke, and at Bramard on Twitter for my own personal thing.
Splendid,
If
that's
you like stories about Peter Crouch, because Peter Crouch is the best thing at Stoke.
We agree with that. To be fair, after you recorded in our studio before, we had Kane versus Kane.
I
We had
remember.
Crouch versus Kane.
Crouch versus Kane.
Yeah. So maybe we need to find
We
one.
have a very on-off relationship with Peter. Like, I appreciate what he does on the pitch, but I'm such a lad, bants, and
See,
I can't.
I want
on the
everyone to know that
pitch-
Chris was also doing the little robot dance as well, just to really hammer it home.
He is on the pitch. You're Atinu.
Yeah. In a way, yeah. In a
In
way, he's a
many
poor man.
ways.
That's you. There's a reference that everyone really needs to get to close it
Just
out.
for
yeah.
us.
So don't forget to, you've had these guys, they're on Twitter as well. We're on Twitter at Royal Grumble Pod. Don't forget to send us tweets, likes, everything, and retweets, all that stuff.
Yep.
Go to facebook.com/Royal Grumble. Go and like us on there. That'd be great. Find us on iTunes if you haven't already. royalgrumble.podbean.com, royalgrumble.weebly.com.
Haven't updated it in months.
Hasn't updated the month. Not the point. We're there. It exists. Give us a rate and a review on iTunes. That'd be great.
YouTube.
Yes, find us on YouTube. Search for the Royal Grumble. We're not famous enough to have our own link, and that's it. So say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Danny.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Daryl.
Oh, hurry up.
Well, come on, mate.
Goodbye, Daryl.
There we go.
Hey.
He sounded so sad then, didn't he?
He did.
Bye,
Oh,
Daryl.
he's sad because he's not here.
No, I think.
All right. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Toodle pips.